dead. I know you guys called that game. He was absolutely dead after that. And I just think if we did have more players, then definitely I cannot see Andrew Crowell. He would have probably had a couple more games in the reserve and then possibly come back and had a league game in a few weeks. But unfortunately, we're just undermanned at the moment, so they've pushed him up into the league team very rapidly.
All right, Angela, we'll catch up with you again at half-time. Thanks for your time. West Adelaide's favourite supporter and our favourite too, Angela. Your commentator for the start of the game, John Nankivell.
Underway here at Elizabeth Oval, and Central stopping a West attack at half-back have gone inside their forward 50. Ball out of bounds, right forward pocket underneath the time clock, which shows 7 seconds here at Nath Oval has been played as the boundary umpire prepares to bring the footy back into play. Dion Miles, they're doing some shepherding off the ball. The ball one down now in the direction of Central District play. They're diving over the football. He's immediately set upon by about 3 or 4 West players. The umpire comes in and says, I have the footy again, fellas. There'll be a bounce now, probably around about 35 out in that forward 50 area for the Central District side. As we check the time clock, 1 minute gone, the ball goes up again, one down in the way for Central. It comes the way of Steinberg. He kicks back towards the top of the goals, goes over Twitala and Smith's head, well roved there by the Dogs. Handball back in the Tyson Hay direction, who's drifted up from defence. His kick though is the kick of a man who's drifted up from defence, and it's through for the first score of the day. 1 point to the Doggies. We have played a minute and a quarter here for 5 footy.
You know, the way Central are playing already, I noticed Prokopek's drawing his man out from full forward, trying to open up some space. And I think they expected West Adelaide to flood back like they have in previous weeks. It hasn't appeared in the first minutes of this game. West Adelaide to bring the ball back, and they go towards the outer side of the ground where there's a one-on-one contest, and probably Central District had the edge in that particular contest, but at the end of the day, just outside 50, umpire Richard Williams will bounce that ball down. Around about 55 metres out from Doggies' goals on a 45-degree angle, and the Doggies kicking with the aid of a slight breeze. It's blowing across the ground. Free kick in that bounce down will go West Adelaide's way.
So the Bloods have a chance now to clear the ball out of their defensive 50. Their big ruckman there in Steinfort, who's been a pretty handy player for West Adelaide since coming over from the VFL this year. Probably about 45 out from defensive goal. Got a lot of options. He's got Ratley in short at defensive 50. He takes the mark. Coming in quickly as James Gowans to close him down. He's called play on. He has to now. Goes out onto the left foot, out towards half-back. He's got a man out there, but it's punched away from him by Steinburner. Diving back in over the top of the football was that West Adelaide player. Hard and tough as always in the clinches of the Doggies, and there'll be a bounce at their right half forward flank. They
do that well, don't they, the Gowans boys? I notice there's a bit of feeling between Slade and Hassan. Hassan has the job on Slade. Interesting to watch that throughout the course of the day. Quick kick forward within 40. Go the Doggies. Nice work too. Beautifully roved, and this could be the first one. Doggies into an open goal and across the face again. One that they shouldn't have missed, and that was by the young fella Adam Swatala, who might have had a bit of a chop on the top of the block. A new roof, a haircut. And so on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, 2 points to Central, and West Adelaide get the score. They bring the ball back in.
And here go the Bloods working out towards young Sam Smitty. Marks the ball inches inside the boundary line, about 45 or 55 from defensive goal. He goes over the top in turn and finds Nathan. He's at about right half back for the Bloods. I think play on out of bounds there, Smith Pocket. I think he did. Actually, I guess end of the day, umpire thought it was all okay. Now giving up ground, here goes the chip stuff. Nathan went to Donaldson. He goes back to Nathan, and from right half back, Nathan shows some attack up towards the wing position. Flying for the ball was Richardson. Got a big mid up, pulls it down his 150th game, shrugs off the tackle from Officer, but he kept holding on. Smith now has it. He goes towards Steinfort, gets around a couple of players, very mobile for a big man, Pat Steinfort. He kicks up towards half forward. Oh, good, almost a good one-handed mark there by Kent. He's taken to ground now, and there'll be a free kick going to Stein for Central District, the Port Power listed player.
Yeah, it was good effort too by the young fella. Dylan Kemp liked the way he played. He's pretty aggressive, and he hit that ball hard too. Almost, just almost, a Flair Curtains and Blinds mark of the day. Ball with Thomas, grandstand side, half back to half forward he goes. Can he find a winner? He can't. Ducking his head just when he shouldn't have was young Sammy Schmidt in his 5th game, and it went through the fingertips, but he's got another chance, and he edges it off, and off they go, the Bloods. Around towards Ed Richardson, in front of the pack, got a high fly, out the back, Dylan Kent took the mark, play on was the call, and off go West Adelaide through Shannon Rosker, bounces inside 50, chances his arm, gets to within 30 and goes bingo! West Adelaide, first major of the afternoon on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. They're 1 goal, Central's 2 behind. This is Footy on 5DN.
Keith Russell from Sensible Funerals talks about growing his business, advertising with 5DN.
I think we started using 5DN for our radio advertising about 4 years ago when we first started. Every time we arrange a funeral, we always ask how we got the business, and very, very frequently it's from 5DN, particularly from the talkback segments. We're with 5DN for the long term. I don't think we'd want to change in the foreseeable future.
Build your business with 5DN. Call 5DN Advertising today. 8305 1364. 8305 1364.
Back here at Nap Oval, West Adelaide have drawn first blood now. Champion and a barge through in the middle of the ground. He's taken to ground, in fact, the big West Adelaide player. He's earned himself a free kick, so wearing a shoulder or a bandage on his right shoulder. I know he hurt his shoulder a few weeks ago against Sturt, but he's been back in the side the last couple of weeks. He comes out wide and finds Nordhausen.
Down.
Yeah, Chris Gowans just getting the arms up, as the Gowans boys like to do, just letting them know they're there early on in this game, which sees West Adelaide one straight, Central two behind as Nordhausen holding the footy up here on this grandstand side wing of Elizabeth. The Central fans saying get on with it. 5 3/4 minutes gone in the first term. Nordhausen kicks a shocker. Wobbly off the boot. Smith couldn't handle it. Handball's in the Ratley direction. His kick was smothered. Comes out towards Malinowski. Here he goes. Received the handball from Richardson. His kick up inside the forward 50. Bustled off it there for the Bloods was Big Luke Norby. I don't see him bustle too much, and there'll be a throw in forward 50 arc for West Adelaide.
I like the look of Norman down there, given that he has got a bit of strength, and alongside a youngster like Dylan Kent, it's just a nice little contrast, especially with Dion Miles, a tall, mobile, athletic type for the Bloods as well. Inside forward 50, Ed Richardson punches it down, but it could be Thomas who kicks it off the ground of theirs. Now, this is a good race, and the race is between Gowans, James type, who chooses not to pick it up and feed it off to Slade and off to Hyde and off to Steinborner. A race for pace, and you'd back Steinborner every time, wouldn't you? Kick off the ground and off he goes. Needs a bounce, won't get it. West Adelaide's Benjamin Dre stops him in his tracks. Handballs to the advantage of a teammate who was taken with a fair tackle. Half-back flank. Bloods are in trouble. Under pressure, they get out of trouble, and off they go. Nice kick in the direction of Dylan Kent.
Nathan, it was kicking that football up towards the contest of Graham and Kent. Ball went over their heads. Now West Adelaide through Salima San have a chance to go forward. He was tackled as he kicked high up and under footy. Diving in was big Paul Schooler. Couldn't take the mark. Players dive in on top of the footy themselves. Umpire says I'll bounce it left half forward for West Adelaide. 7 minutes gone here on 5DN footy. Central versus West Adelaide at Nap Oval. Zogs two behind West. 1 straight 6.
So half forward, Scholar gets the tap down, and off they go. Nicely done too by the young fella there, Bradley Symes, to get the handball out. And they go for touch. They'll find it. Outer side wing. A boundary throw-in. Just 7.5 minutes gone first quarter. West Adelaide 1 goal. Central District 2 behind. That score on the Scott Salisbury Homes scoreboard.
As the umpire brings the footy back into play, right in front of that family friendly there, which has about 14 people in it right now. Diving in there was Steinford. He does a lot of rucking and roving. He's a bit Sean Wren-like in that regard. Ball out towards the boundary line. Dion Miles went out of bounds, but the umpire on the full, the umpire says no, we'll throw it in.
I like the look of Steinford. He's a good type, isn't he? Reads the play well. He plays back, and Scholar's just a real workman-like. So that'll be a good contest throughout the course of the day.
Ratley tries to barge through the pack. He managed to get out in the Miles direction, who in turn gave a scrubby handball to Nathan. He's set up on it. Really is tough stuff. Central applying all the pressure. Ball spills out now towards Thomas. His hurried kick towards the forward 50 arc. Bouncing football, trying to gather in desperately down there was Steinburner. Couldn't do so. Coming and giving him some help there was his teammate and Shell, who went back in the Steinburner direction. He toe pokes it forward towards the boundary line. Umpire's called a free kick, and it's going to go the way of West Adelaide's champion.
Yeah, champion, he did a good job there. Steinburner took a little bit of time to get to his feet and got found out when the ball bounced back. Off they go to West Adelaide. They do it through Donaldson. Goes inboard, risky play. Hard hit too, but fair. Nice done by Thomas. That hit was on Dre. Ball spills into the corridor for the Doggies. But it is West Adelaide's numbers that is a bit of a stumbling block for them just at the moment. High ball out. Sculler competes with Miles, whose second effort wasn't as good as Sculler, who butted up again himself. And a free kick has been picked out. Didn't catch what it was for. Richard Williams did. He was close to the action, and Central Districts get the resultant free kick and go inboard.
Thomas has the footy at right half forward. He goes to centre half forward where Kane Officer takes the mark. He runs towards goals, chips out of on the lead. Big Procopec for the Dogs. Here the fans clap, and so they should. Good football, Bobby. Just a nice, easy move with a couple of chip kicks and inside 50. And now Procopec, Nick Procopec, of course, playing his 8th game, kicked 19 goals so far. Has a chance to put the Dogs first on the board.
And a nice little set moves there. They basically, Thomas brought the ball back into the corridor, and then Central forwards fanned out and allowed a bit of room just for Procopec, who was behind them, to lead straight down the middle. Nice delivery, nice take. Good move all round by Central District.
So Nick Procopec goes for goal from about 45 out, pretty much straight in front. No problem at all. Straight through the middle on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Central 1-2-8, West 1 straight 6. Nearly 10 minutes gone in this first term. You're listening to 5DN Footy.
Coorong Angus beef. South Australia's finest aged grain-finished beef is served in some of Adelaide's best restaurants. The Harndorf Inn, Tin Cat Cafe, Hotel McLaren. Coorong Angus beef, raised on the unique pastures of South Australia's beautiful Coorong and produced by the one family all the way from paddock to plate. Are you serving premium quality Coorong Angus beef? Coorong Angus beef, South Australia's finest. From Feast at the Market, Shop 15, Adelaide Central Market and Mount Barker.
Around the grounds on 5DN Footy at Adelaide Oval, it's Northland Port. It's North 3-1-19. A good start over Port, 2 points. At Glenelg Oval, Glenelg 2 points over South yet to score. At Unley Oval, Sturt 1-1-7, leading the Eagles yet to score. And at Skilled Stadium, it's pretty close. So Brisbane 4-7-31 over the Cats 4-4-28. It's back to Nap Oval.
Thanks for that, Mark. Pretty close here too on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Central District a 1-2-8 and West Adelaide 1 goal. Just over 10 minutes gone, first quarter.
Ball back into play, left half forward for the Dogs. Steinfort's been doing well on the ruck. He won that one down. No clear West Adelaide player could get it out. Diving in again is Steinfort doing the roving. And the umpire, as he come in and picked out a free kick, I think he has.
He's rewarding the blokes that are getting in there.
And the Gowans boys both clearing the scene as Donaldson comes in to help up Steinfort. Look at, well, it's clearing the scene involves standing on top of the bloke. I mean, they're doing a good job. But as it is, Steinfort has the footy at defensive 50.
He does too. So Steinfort will try to work the ball grandstand side, although there are a few options inboard. A risky option, but nice leg found Wade Champion, who got yet another touch. Interesting little arm wrestle, this one, because West Adelaide are in no rush to press too hard, and they're fighting hard in the stoppages. They come grandstand side. Back of the pack, Dylan Kemp came high and early and probably interfered with his own player, picking up the ball for Central and running it over the line was Quentin Graham, courtesy of a quick nudge as well. So there'll be a boundary throw-in, just short of left half forward for the Doggies, who are kicking with the aid of the breeze to the northern end of Nap Oval.
Steinfort and Schooler in the ruck again. Steinfort almost comes off his face on that occasion. Again, players going in hard for the ball. Nordhausen's got trying to break free from the wrap up there by James Gowans. Sam Smith comes in and says, how do you do? And now they've done it again. They've done it again. They've milked it well. Young Sam Smith, playing his 5th game, has come in to help out his teammate. Given one of the Gowans boys are pushing them out, and he's got the free.
Well, James Gowans came in late and threw him to the ground, and then, of course, the rest of the crew responded. Meanwhile, off he goes and finds Prokopek on a lead, and he nails it beautifully. Basically, in exactly the same position as he was just a few moments ago. The big fella, the 20-year-old for Central District, will go for goal number 2 in the space of a minute and a bit. Central District 1-2-8, West Adelaide 1 goal. You get a rush of blood, Nanks, and I know you don't want to respond, and you just can't respond.
Yeah,
you just can't. They do it so well.
It's still going on at the forward 50 for Central. James Gowans and Jason Paul-Pleasure just having a bit of a chat as Prokopek comes in very deliberately for goal number 2 for himself and the Dogs. It's a bit of deja vu. It's the exact same result. Central go to 2-2-14. West Adelaide 1-8-6. You're listening to 5DN Footy.
Roberta Waterman from Waterman Furniture.
Right now we're having a gigantic bedding and bedroom sale. All bedding and bedroom furniture is reduced. Bulk bedding buys mean massive savings that we can pass on to you. Bedroom styles range from exotic and Federation to modern, available in many colours and timber finishes. And remember, if it's on the floor, it can be delivered by Friday.
Waterman's Furniture, creating beautiful homes for 50 years. 647 Port Road, Woodville Park.
Well, here we go. Bounce down, nice work. Neither player, Steinfort or Schooler, really had a clear hit on that one. Bradley Symes releases it, and off they go through Hay. Left foot kick right down deep and nearly taken by Cochrane. Out the back, the Bloods are in trouble. Donaldson gets on the end of it, will come grandstand side where he's got a couple of options, and he just needs a favourable bounce. Hassan tries to take on the man and jumped into a tackle. Fair enough. Will be a free kick, tries to get away. He had the chance to try to get a bit of body as well. He won't like it. Hopwood gets the free kick. And the Doggy fans in front of us, right smack bang in the centre of Nap Oval, are pretty happy about it as they go forward.
Hopping up towards half forward, getting in front and taking a good mark though with Champ, and he's played very good football today for West Adelaide. Probably about his 5th or 6th touch for the power listed player. As I mentioned earlier, he injured his shoulder, but he's back in the side and doing well. But then we're giving him a bit of a rap and he's kicked it badly. Donaldson has to work hard now, and he's not going to be able to beat his opponent there. Quick handball coming through there from Ratley, and away goes Nordhausen, and he'll clear for West Adelaide. Gives the handball to Rusker at defensive 50. Goes for a run, out through left half back. Thinks about the handball, has another bounce. Thinks about the handball again, this time gives to Miles. Big D on Miles, outer side of Elizabeth Oval, handballs over the top and finds a teammate there in Hassan, who has to steady, goes with the right foot kick. It was smothered, bouncing football. Graham pulls it down with the one hand with a go-go gadget arms, kicks around towards Chris Gowan. He couldn't gather it. Ratley comes through and does well. Handballs in the Hassan direction, not a good one. Had to go in and grab it. Hassani did so. Underground handball now finds Miles, who's run on from defence. He goes back in the Hassan direction. They're going to mess this up, West Adelaide. This is Sturt-type handballing, but the Bloods have got themselves a free kick, have they, Poppy?
They have. Hassan, who probably just needs to get rid of that ball a bit quicker, has been caught out a couple of times. Got the free kick, will go short. The lead is on. Malinovsky it is, and finds it him just in the arc of 50. But with the boundary just a few metres to his left, has to go short, finds it too. Nice leg. Norman on the break. Well, the angle hasn't improved, but certainly the distance has, and Norman will be kicking against a fairly strong breeze, I'd imagine, from that pocket. That's the left full forward pocket, with the Bloods kicking to the southern end.
42 goals in 84 games for Luke Norman.
All right, let's see what he can do. As a skipper, you like to kick more of these than you miss, but it's a tough one. Norman, off the boot, looks okay, just drags it to the left. In fact, drags it a long way to the left. Excuse me, out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will go to the Doggies, right back pocket. Norman will take the mark, and the free kick will go to the Doggies. Central District 2-2-14 on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. West Adelaide 1 goal, 16 minutes gone, first quarter. Slade to take the free kick.
Yeah, Matthew Slade, unaccustomed position down there in defence. Usually plays up around the forward line or in the midfield. He plays on now out from that right back pocket. Goes out towards defence to 50. He's got some run here from off to Hyde. He goes with a left foot kick up here towards the wing position. Getting up high and will take the mark. Potential with Thomas. He's on a free kick for a push in the back against Port Pleasure. And he will take that free kick right over the 5DN commentary box on this grandstand side at Nap Oval. And Thomas wastes no time as Central love to get on with the game. He goes with the right foot kick up towards the centre-half forward position. Resting there was Chris Gowns, getting up and taking a good mark from behind, though. That Steinford is.
Yeah, he reads it well back there, and actually Central are playing into the hands of Westies in that move a couple of times, Nanks, hasn't he? He's just chipped in there beautifully. Goes short again to Malinovsky, does Steinford. He's been busy too, Malinovsky. Got a few touches as they try to link a few more times, and they do. Steinford's the option this time, but you can overuse it, can't you? Especially in tricky conditions against a good side. Cochrane gives it away, and the Bloods will go again. They've got themselves in a spot of bother here. They've got enough around the ball to get under it. You'd think Miles is going to have to hit hard, and does. I thought may have got Central District's Kane Officer high. Umpire was blindsided, so there'll be a bounce down. Right half forward flank, exactly right on the point of the square, with the Central District side into attack and leading by 8 points.
Steinford from behind, no clear winner in the ruck though. Ball spills out towards West Adelaide's Nathan. He can't gather it in. Diving in there, applying the pressure was Thomas, and the umpire comes in. Been plenty of bounces, plenty on that outer side of the ground. They'll have another one. And Central just looking dangerous, just looking ominous. West, as Poppy said, overusing the footy a bit, and Central won't let you do that. They'll pounce, as we've seen in this game. Steinford won that one down the ruck, but it went straight to Steinburner. He couldn't grab it in. Free kick's been called, going the way of the Dogs. May even be a 25-metre penalty because the ball was kicked away. And the umpire says, I think he's going to take it from where it is.
No, I think there's going to be a penalty there.
There it is. Now they're running forward. Steinburner has the footy, and that'll take him to probably just inside 50 or around about on 50. So you wouldn't think he could kick it from here, but he could certainly set up a scoring opportunity. About 52 metres out is where the umpires put the mark. Steinberg has the football, holding it inside the right half forward position. He's going to go short, probably a wise move in these conditions, but he's picked out a man there, and Hay again has run forward from defence. He's kicked one behind today already, Tyson Hay. He plays on now. What can he do this time? Gets onto that left boot, goes towards the goals. Well, he's kicked 2 behind now, Tyson Hay. And on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard at Central, 2-3-15, West 1 straight 6.
Quick change, Scholar coming off and Cowan coming on for Central District. Behind play, Norman having a few words with Ofterhide. I don't think Norman appreciated having to chase Ofterhide down from full back to centre for around about 150 metres. He wouldn't do that unless there was a hamburger on the end of it most of the time, Norman. He's chunky, but he's fit and he's fast and he's pretty furious. And he leads by example. Here we go, West Adelaide towards the outer side. Not much of a kick in, I wouldn't have thought. And luckily Steinborn dropped what maybe he should have taken. Ball spills out the back, and the boundary might be the best friend here, and it is. So out of bounce on the full, actually, and the free kick must have come off the leg of West Adelaide. Bradley Syme takes the kick, kicks to the top of the square, out the back. I thought it was going to be a Central District mark. It wasn't. It was West Adelaide's Benjamin Dre that took the mark. With the central goals just a few metres behind him, he'll try to get his side out of trouble now.
So Benjamin Dre standing in the full-back goal square, goes short as West like to do, and he's picked out Dion Miles along with Champion, who's got a bit of the footy early on, and he's just holding the ball up about 40 from defensive goal. Now he goes with a handball out the back to Nordhausen. That is coming around in the right back pocket, goes short out there towards half-back. It's not a good kick. It's goal. It's gone right onto the chest of Prokopek, who just misses a shot at his third goal. And it goes through for one behind. I don't know if they just missed it, he just snuck it in at the end of the day. 2-4-16, 10 points to lead to Central West, one straight.
Well, I tell you what, I would have backed Prokopek in on the back of what has been two excellent shots for goal in this first quarter. Probably missed what he should have got. We got time for a score check back there, Mark, haven't we?
Just a quick score check, guys. At Adelaide Oval, it's North 4-3-27 over Port, 2 points. Glenelg Oval, it's Tigers 2-4-16 to South, 1 point. Only Oval, it's 1 point in it. Sturt 1-1-7 to the Eagles, one straight goal. And at Skilled Stadium, low-scoring affair. Brisbane still leading 5-7-37 to Geelong 5-4-34. Back to NAP Oval, thanks to Anchor Securities.
Thank you, Mark. Sorry about that. Central District 2-4-16. West Adelaide 1 goal. And the Bloods to bring the ball back into play.
So West Adelaide kick the footy out towards defensive 50. Not a good kick. They've been messing up with their kicks inside forward 50. Symes kicks the ball short along the ground. Here's a chance. Good tackle there by Nordhausen. It's going to go to free kick, apparently. I thought it looked like quite a good tackle from here, but the free kick to go to Chris Gowans, was it? Well, the Gowans have the footy inside forward 50. It will be Chris when they get him up off the ground and the players clear away from the scuffle. And he's a dangerous player to have the ball. About 55 out, he'll be starting his run in from as we just checked the Central District score. 2-4 West, 1 straight. 21 minutes gone. First term, been a real arm wrestle as Chris Gowans now. He'll tip him from here, you'd back him from here. He's a good kick for goal, he and his brother. And on this occasion, he has made no mistake. So Central 3-4-22. West 1 straight 6 on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Here's for Angus Securities. You're listening to 5 the end footy.
10 degrees to Port Helmsman. Aye, aye, Captain. Here she goes. Come on, you scurvy dogs. Put your backs into it. Breathe in that mainsail. I don't want to end my day skewered like a duck pig on those rocks.
It used to be that you had to battle hell and high water to find the right marine accessories at the right price. Now, all you do is set course for Glasscraft, Adelaide's biggest range of marine accessories and extreme water sports gear. Glasscraft, 247 Perry Street, City.
Back here at the Nap Oval, Central 3-4-22. West Adelaide 1 goal. Ball locked away after some good strong play by a couple of players of each side. And there'll be a bounce down just Central District side of the centre circle. And there it goes. Steinford fights hard, gets his hand on the ball. He's got a couple of hands on him, and so there'll be another bounce down. John Nankerville.
Yeah, there's been a lot of them today, Poppy, as Central just making West Adelaide pay there. The free kick inside 50 for the high tackle. Now the lead out to 16 points. Umpire throws it up this time. Symes basketball style. Taps it a bit more aerial ping pong. Forward 50 for Central, but coming in doing some good defensive work is the always solid Donaldson. He handballs out wide and finds Salim Hassan at right half back. He kicks up towards the wing position where a diving attempt at a mark by Malinovsky looks as if it's going to be paid by the umpire, and he'll take that mark about between the grandstand wing and right half back for West Adelaide. Nick Malinovsky, the late inclusion for Ross Glover, just holding the football up. As Poppy said earlier, he hasn't looked too bad. It's been two good players for West Adelaide. They're just lacking on the scoreboard. Malinovsky plays on now, kicks up towards right half full where the pack form. At the back, it was a big fist from off the high, but it went straight down to Donaldson, who's up from defence. His high up and under kick goes inside 54, the Bloods, and making the mark. And what a good mark it was Ruska, because he was running back with the flight of the ball. Probably had a bit of what sun there is in his eyes, but he's taken the mark about 40 out on about a 45-degree angle. And the guy who can kick a goal, he's kicked one today already, will go for his second.
Well, no question. That is the Flare Curtains and Blinds mark of the day to this date. Ruska, who kicked one in the opening minutes of this game, will have a tough one, but the breeze may aid him a bit. Float across the face, need to go right, you'd think. John Nankerville.
Tyson Hay on the mark. He gets close to him. He's pushed the ball right across the left. It's going to be marked down the back line almost by West Adelaide, but in the end the ball I think will be held in there for a bounce.
Well, if you're the coach of West Adelaide, Sean Wren, you really wouldn't want the Doggies to be too much further in front than what they are now. It's 3 goals, I guess. Well, in effect, it's really only 16 points. Back to 15 after the ball spills over the line. Central could have hurt them. They've had 7 scoring opportunities and come back with 3-4. West Adelaide a 1-1-7 as the ball comes back into play, and we're going to race on now, and it's going to be the doggies that lead this race. Slade has the ball, draws the ball, gives to Symes, and from the half-back line kicks to centre-half forward. Here we go, this is going to be a good one. Out the back, taking a short step there was Nordhausen for West Adelaide. Opens the door up for Steinbrenner. He can't get a handle on the ball, puts himself under pressure. Ed Richardson will get another crack. He's been chucked back into that defensive 50 just to hold up proceedings, and he does just that. Couple of disappointments there. Nordhausen took a short step when he shouldn't have, and Steinbrenner took his eyes off the ball also, not through fear of a man, but he had the ball spent before he got it. Another bounce down, 40 metres out from Central District goals, 25 minutes gone, only 4 goals scored in total, so not much more time to go you wouldn't expect. John Nankerville.
Umpire wastes no time, throws it up again, working hard in the ruck. It's one down by the Bloods. Trying to come out down was Ratley. He was good with a handball in defence too. Richardson, what can he do? Playing his 150th game, he's tackled as he kicks it, and the ball goes out of bounds on the full. Central fans enjoyed that, and the Dogs will take the free kick. About 70 from their goal. It's going to be big, or actually it's going to be Thomas. I just saw the blonde hair. He comes out from front of the coach's box, kicks up towards the forward 50-yard, comes off hands. About 3 West players all thumped it down. Donaldson grabbed it. He's grabbed in turn by a Central player, and there'll be a bounce right in front of the Doggies' goal. We've gone 26 minutes first term.
All right, 25 metres out maybe, as John Nankerville told you. Ball thrown down, nicely done, and West Adelaide will get themselves out of trouble. Bradley comes towards and looking for Dylan Kent. He can't take the ball, but he can get a free kick, courtesy of a Heath Hopwood push. So Dylan Kent, right half-back flank, will take his time and soak up some precious seconds whilst they're kicking against the breeze. Just ask the big fella, Leonard Clark, to put himself into the equation. The kick was poor, and it's been like that a few times today. Play on was the call. He didn't like that, did James Gowans. Nevertheless, the call was there, and it will be a bounce count. Now, James will have a word to say to Richard Williams here, and it won't be a good decision. But, as Richard pointed out to him, went off your line, called it as I saw it. Leonard Clark, beaten to it by Cowan. Unfavourable bounce, opens up the ball for the Doggies, but only momentarily, because the youngster Samuel Schmidt picked it up to Radley around the corner. Here they go. They're being clever and cute, and Richardson will go long now, back himself in, and I tell you what, that's out of bounds on the full, I would have thought. Come off the leg, if I saw it properly, off Tyson Hay, but I obviously didn't. The boundary umpire said boundary throw in. Grandstand side, centre wing, scores Central 3-4, West Adelaide 1-1.
Back into play, Clark wrestling against Cowan in the ruck. Cowan doing a bit of body work, ball spills down, handball out there from the Central District players. The siren sounds before a time. 27.5 minutes that first term went, and on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, it's the Dogs 3-4-22, West Adelaide 1-1-7, 15 points to margin. Thanks to Angus Securities, you're listening to 5DN Footy.
5DN's SANFL match of the round continues shortly, thanks to Angus Securities, proud supporters of South Australian football. 5DN loves live theatre, and you love David Williamson's red-hot comedy, Soulmates, a play about books you can't put down. Watch the fur and the pages fly as Matt Byrne Media presents Soulmates at the Holden Street Theatre's Hyde Marsh, June 17 to July 3 at 8 p.m. Book your tickets now on 8.
Stage for our Gooja Fish Calf man of the match. But just some honest contributors. I always like the way Ed Richardson plays, and Shannon Rusk has been okay. Back half's been under a fair bit of pressure for West Adelaide and stood up okay to it. Luke Donaldson and also the big fella, the unorthodox type Benjamin Dre down the back half. Central District, well, they're just an even spread. We say that every time they play, but it's very true. They're a very good side. Second quarter just about ready to get underway. And your commentator, John Nankerville.
Umpire throws the football in the air. Struler in the ruck there against Steinford. That was the start of the pairing in that first term at Central. They're getting a quick kick up towards centre-half forward. Slade couldn't gather it in. James Gowans comes and his kick smothered by Miles. And Hassan, not a good handball. Straight into the arms of Thomas. He puts the Dogs to forward 50. Chris Gowans couldn't take the mark. Comes off hands. Swatala it was. Handballing in the shell direction. He gets around a couple of West Adelaide players. Swings onto the left boot to the top of the goal square. And it's not the best of kicks, perhaps in the breeze there, drifting out of bounds on the full. Be a free kick to West Adelaide in the right back pocket.
Salam Hassan has made just a few ball errors today and a few decision errors. He's just, I'm not sure why, but feeling the pressure of a good side against him today. They'll go short. Steinford's a player that I should have mentioned too in that summary that I overlooked. He's been very good today. Probably the leading contender for the Gooja Fish Cap. I knew it was coming. For the Gooja Fish Cap man of the match, and he went short and the ball was picked off. So Central District may make him pay.
Tyson Hay taking the mark. I said the same thing about Champion. He kicked it straight to a Central player in the first quarter. So we'll stop giving the West Adelaide players raps, blood fans, and they may stick to their guns. Tyson Hay has the football. He'll be kicking from probably about 45 out, pretty much straight in front. Two behind to read today. Looks like it's not even going to score this one. Poppy's right. The wind held the footy up. In the end, it stumped through off hands. Well, actually, it's gone out of bounds, I think, off hands, and there'll be a throw in that left forward pocket for the Dogs.
You know, Tyson Hay, on a good day, can kick from 50. He's got a nice left leg. Right. He was kicking from 45 and was a few metres short. So, strong breeze. Let's see if West Adelaide can make the most of it. Shell takes it and then chucks it in the danger zone. That's where Gowans knows it's going to go. Their discipline. Kick around the corner. Not quite right, Bradley Symes. In fact, it was for the Doggies. Bradley Symes, who couldn't get the ball to bounce his way, and there'll be another boundary throw-in. Steinford will do the work again. Gets the tap. Can he find the man? He can. He was searching for Miles. He was hit hard, but fair. And 15 metres out from Doggies' goals. Kicking against a strong breeze and leading by 15 points. There'll be another bounce down.
Umpire Richard Williams throws the footy up. It's one down by Prokopek doing the ruck work there. Straight to West Adelaide's Donaldson. Wrapped up by Cochrane, I think it is. It is for Central District, and there'll be another bounce. Pretty much about 25 out straight in front of the Central District goals. They're enjoying that 15-point lead at the moment. Central District, as the ball cleared out of that area by a quick kick from West Adelaide. Smith's going to have to work hard against Fatale. He got the hand up and popped it towards half forward. Hay comes in again. He's been busy this term. Picks it up, runs around a man, gets onto the left foot. What can he do for Central? He finds Symes. 55 from goal. Brad Symes on the run now. Kicks inside 50. One-on-one Prokopek there versus Illman. Prokopek couldn't handle it. Coming into end support was Bello. He was grabbed onto. Free kick for the Dogs. Cochrane, in fact, a look-alike. And he'll get a free kick, Poppy, straight in front on the slightest of angles.
Yeah, nice work too by Tyson Hay. The young fella Schmidt did a good job just to tap it in to his own advantage on the outer side. He was held just momentarily. Didn't, restrict him too much, but it was there, as was the free kick that was paid. 15 metres out, directly in front. Not the start that West Adelaide want, obviously. Central 3-4, West Adelaide 1-1. Can they pop that over to 4 forward? Let's walk it in. Yeah, nicely done. Straight through the middle, even against the strong breeze. 15 metres out. That's goal number 4 for the Doggies. 4-4-28. On the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, West Adelaide 117. This is footy on 5DN.
Indulge in the celebration of exciting Greek and Mediterranean cuisine right in the heart of historic Port Noarlunga at Manoli's Mezes Cafe. Just 50 metres from the jetty, Manoli's Mezes serve delicious Greek and Mediterranean style food with a touch of Moroccan, Portuguese and Spanish. There's traditional Italian pastas, gourmet pizzas and all-day breakfasts on the weekends. They even deliver for home, business or corporate functions. Manoli's Mezes Cafe, 32 Salt Fleet Street, Port Noarlunga. Food so good, it'll make you want to break your plate.
Another skill error by West Adelaide inside their forward 50. A handball from Whipston wasn't taken cleanly by Nordhausen, and Central have a chance through James Gowans, who goes looking for his brother Chris outer side of the ground. Handball's back in the Bello direction, shrugs off a couple of tacklers, 3 in fact. Handball's back to James Gowans. Goes with the left foot kick up towards half forward, bouncing football running on Brad Symes. Oh, he's met very heavily there by Hassan. He's still on the ground, Symes reaching back for a free kick, not paid because it was a fair bump, and Hassan comes out wide towards left half forward for West Adelaide, or left half back over the block, taken to ground with Champion. Central fans wanted a free kick, not doing. Stein-Brenner off the ground, does well. Held his feet, bouncing football now. Dre versus Shell, the two mocks off. Taken to ground there is Dre. Umpire pushes in the back, a bit flat, Coffey, and the Central fans booing in chorus.
Yeah, I thought it was a good tackle, actually. Benjamin Dre gets the free kick, left half-back flank, with a fair tussle of people. Gowans having words with the runner and giving that runner a bit of a push as well. Nordhausen, courtesy of a mistake, will come off. Coming on will be Luke Nathan. Good hit by Hassan on Bradley Symes. Good and fair. Nathan comes on, kicks smothered. Porplesia fights hard, takes it beautifully, opens up the door. Ruska over the top. Bradley finds a spot. Dylan Kent, who can kick from 50 with the aid of the breeze. He'll threaten this. He's got a runner, Malinovsky. He's got another one short too. Luke Nathan, but he's going to back himself in. So he'll need to make the distance now because half a dozen Central District players have flooded back into defensive 50. Central 4-4-28, West Adelaide 1-1-7, 5 minutes gone, second quarter. Match of the day on 5DN, thanks to Angus Securities, the fixed interest specialist.
So Dylan Kent slowly and deliberately for West Adelaide. Kicked from probably about 55 goals. That is 55 metres. That is probably said he's got the breeze behind him. He's going to lob right in the goal square. Hands go up. In the end, it's off those hands and through for one behind for West Adelaide. They go to 1-2-8. 20 points behind Central, 4-4-28.
He was disappointed with that effort. He should have been too. It looks like he just poked it up and wanted the wind to do it, but really shouldn't change his style. The wind's just a bonus. Slade comes in, kicks towards the boundary line. That win is strong. Front position the key. Pushed out of front position for West Adelaide, and now the Doggies. Hopefully we'll get a favourable bounce and do. Cochrane kicks to the lead of Shell, finds him. Nice take. Shell nearly had it spent, wants to play on quickly. He'll kick to the advantage of Cochrane again to space, and Cochrane in a race with Steinford. I'm going to back Cochrane here because he's got about 3 foot less than Steinford to carry, but his kick is poor. And for West Adelaide, Dylan Kent, gee, he's working the ground pretty well. Takes the mark, goes towards the outer side. Good thump by Simonella. Finds the boundary line. Central District on their left half forward flank and leading by 20 points, 6 minutes, actually 7 minutes gone, second quarter.
Bad news for Blood fans. Salim Hassan coming off the ground very gingerly and coming on McCabe, so we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on with Hassan down on the bench. He's one of their prime movers.
I wonder if it wasn't a result of the hit on Bradley Symes, who I see walking along the boundary line and feeling the effects also. Swatala
is for Central, breaking away. He's kicked one, he might kick two towards the goals. It's not a good kick, bouncing football. I think just to keep it in with Crocker Peck like a raging bull, busting through his opponent. Handball back in the Steinberg direction. Easy kick up, and the mark is taken. Play on, not the distance. And James Gowans had to play on in a hurry. It didn't do much with the handball. I understand they had about 3 West Adelaide players surrounding him. Elijah Ware's in there bending a helping hand, and there'll be a bounce in the goal square for Central.
I've got to say, as soon as that kick went, because the kick was meant for Gowans, as soon as that kick went, I looked at the umpire thinking, I wonder how he's going to call this, because it would have been a courageous call. He did call it right.
He did.
It wasn't the distance, no. So...
Dion Miles just rushing through it behind there, Poppy. So Central advancing along on the scoreboard to 4-5-29.
All right, here we go. West Adelaide to try again to get it out of this defensive area. Even with the aid of a breeze, they're finding it tough work. They're trailing by 3.5 goals. Not even midway through this second quarter. Fairly easy out against an open zone by Central. They'll come boundary line. They'll come grandstand side now. The kick more in hope than anything else. It was looking for Steinford. Melanowski was beaten in height. Melanowski was at the front, and out the back was the big fella. And I'm trying to pick who that was. But nevertheless, he had 2 bites at it. The big fella was Prokopec.
Nothing like an angry Central fan. We just saw about 70 of them all rise out of their chairs in front of us. Now here's a chance for Ullman, the former Adelaide 36er. Cries of ball from Central fans. He got away with it, goes to Harris, to Paul Felicia, and West Adelaide out of trouble up towards half forward. Only momentarily says Hopwood. Hasn't been fired too much today. Heath Hopwood takes the mark at right half back, goes short towards the centre half back position. The mark's taken by Hay. Off the Hyde's run up, he goes short, and all won't be happy about chasing him again. Thomas has the footy outer side wing, running in front of the family friendly area. He's going to be run down. Norman's done a lot of running from about 100 metres. Just missed tackling Thomas, who kicks inside 50. In from the side, Steinberner couldn't take it. Bello rides it well. Snaps towards the goal. Left goal mark for Bello. Opportunist shot. And at the 9.25 minute mark in their second term, Central go to 5-5-35 West 1-8. You're listening to 5DN Footy.
We got more to grow, we got more to show, we got the best quality. We're the biggest place for plants in town, we're Virginia Nursery. We got more in plants and more in pots, best prices just you see. We're the biggest place for plants in town, we're Virginia Nursery. We grow it, we know it, and we'll save you real money. We got more of everything for your yard, we're Virginia Nursery. Yes, we're Virginia Nursery.
We're on the grounds on 5DN Footy at Adelaide Oval. It's North 4-4-28 to Port 2-3-15. At Glenelg Oval, it's still the Tigers 4-5-29 over South 1-1-7. Got their first goal. At Unley Oval, Eagles 2 straight goals, leading Sturt 1-4-10. And the third term just started at Skilled Stadium. Still a 3-point ball game. Brisbane 5-7-37 over Geelong 5-4-34. Back in up Oval for 5DN's match of the day.
Where the margin's 27 points and Central Districts are trying to build on that. Right half forward flank, Ware takes on 3. Poor Felicia goes for cut and finds Boundary throw in right half-forward flank.
Elijah where a late inclusion popped. I think he came into Big McKenzie. Probably just thinking these wet conditions, perhaps better to have another small man, nippy player like Elijah Ware.
He fought hard then. Let's see what happens now. Out the back, the ball will go. And it's Ratley who tried to bust the pack and couldn't. Cochrane feeds off, looking for Chris Gowan. He's tackled as he kicks, and there'll be a mark by Schmidt. He just dropped the head again. Must be just more style than anything else. I noticed that one slipped through the fingers in the first quarter. That time, good hands. Half back line, thinks about his options, and I'm not sure that was the right one. 1-2, gets another touch and starts to work it out. Grandstand side, Ed Richardson the target. Well, the push was subtle if it was there. And Richardson will take the ball. Left half forward flank. They desperately need to convert on the scoreboard, otherwise Central will have them at more than arm's length. That's where they are at the moment. And if nothing else, he needs to go long, but long there's not a lot of options.
Got Illman dropping back. McCabe's running around there. But yeah, you're right, not a lot of options as Richardson goes out wide now. Dylan Kent, it is, has managed to get free. Kicked a rush behind earlier, Dylan Kent. He'd have another shot at goal now, playing his 5th game.
You know, that was a perfect example. The Central District fans unhappy with him taking his time, but he's only taking his time because the Central District players have all flooded back to defensive 50. So, you know, it's a catch-22. And so he summed up the options, and the best option he picked, and now they've got a chance for their second of the afternoon.
Dylan Kent has the footy. 12 minutes gone in the second term. West trailing by 27 points, 35-8. Here at Nap Oval, thanks to Angus Securities, you're listening to 5DN football as Dylan Kent deliberately from about 49 metres. Again, not a bad kick off the boot, but just not having the accuracy. Through for the Bloods, third behind there, 139, Central's 5-5.
Well, Steinford and Kent having words. I know that Tony Modra has been down at the Bloods helping the young fella kick for goals. So at this stage we can blame Mod. Central District will bring the ball back inboard. They find a man on the intersection of defensive 50 and boundary, and they go back into the corridor again, trying to open up space. Porplesia will come in late. It was a risky move, but it's come off momentarily. Tyson Hayes been busy. Has Elijah Ware as an option. Grandstand side, goes in that direction. Ware takes the ball, will play on, and Shepherd, no he doesn't, and therefore opens up the door. Miles takes the ball. Rusk is taken fairly. Boundary, in fact, bounced down, I'm afraid. Left half forward flank. Central's 5-5-35, and West Adelaide 139. That score on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard.
Umpire Peter Williams. 2 Williams is umpire today. Richard and Peter throws the ball up. The ball bouncing inside forward 50 for the Bloods. It's Hopwood taking the ball out towards half-back with the kick. Swatala couldn't take the mark under pressure from Smith. The young fella goes in, gets a good handle out to Nathan. He pulled it in with one paw now, kicks inside 50. Not a good kick, though. Off the Hyde will earn himself a free kick for a high tackle. He would have taken the mark anyway. And the resolute Central defender, Jeremy Off the Hyde, takes the ball in the left back pocket. Goes short, finds one of the Gowans boys, I think it is. He can turn, goes out towards half-back where the mark's been taken by Hopwood. He can go with the right foot kick up towards left half forward. He's got Chris Gowans dropping back. He takes the mark in front of Illman. He can run. Prokopek, the big fella, provides the Shepherd. Shell takes the kick from Gowans about 52 from goal. He's away now, Daniel Shell. What can he do? Strong kick into a strong breeze. 1-on-1, Steinbrenner versus Champion. Champion's got the height, but Steinbrenner manoeuvred well. Tapping back in towards the forward pocket. He picks it up now. Champion grabs him. Not before he got a handball in the Bellow direction, who tunnel balls it through towards his Central teammate. Diving in on the footy. Bill 3 now. I feel it was ever so close to holding the ball. Steinbrenner has it now. This is amazing. They've almost just fallen over the behind line now. Little handballs going one way or the other, and here go West Adelaide now. The long handball from Gray to Malinowski. And
he's getting chased down by Shell. Malinowski, a tumble punt, but it falls in the arms of Hopwood. Talk about that play a moment ago in just a few moments. Hay loses his footing. He was a contender for the Guja Fish Cap man of the match. And he still is, mind you. He's been busy. Dre around the back. Ed Richardson gets a favourable bounce. Needs to straighten up. More importantly, needs to goal. And does. Goal number 2, West Adelaide. The Bloods 2-3 now. 15. Central 5-5, 35. You're listening to Footy on 5DN.
There's a lot coming up this year. My daughter's 18, our wedding anniversary, Jenny's 40th, Meg's wedding. And every one for me means a different dress. But I'm not interested in buying off the rack. I want my dresses to be different. Wouldn't mind turning a few heads either.
Glenburn Fabrics is your first choice for the finest after-5 fabrics at Adelaide. And if you can't sew, Glenburn Fabrics can refer you to professional dressmakers when you purchase. Glenburn Fabrics, 143 Glenburn Road, Firle. Do it yourself, do it in style.
5-10 footy round the grounds. Just quick score updates for you. North 8-point leaders over Port at the moment at Glenelg Oval. It's Glenelg by 21. Sturta back in front, leading the Eagles by 4 points at Unley Oval, and Geelong in front by 1 point at Skilled Stadium. In AFL footy, it's back to Nap Oval.
Where Luke Nathan has taken a great diving mark and plays on now with a handball to Donaldson. He kicks out wide looking for Illman. He marks over the top of Prokopek. Haven't seen a lot of him. Got a couple of touches, but nothing damaging just yet, young Illman, playing only his first game of footy. Miles goes towards Smith, another young player who's been busy, couldn't handle it. Tackled the ground there with Hopwood. Free kick given away for holding, certainly there. Umpire Williams, Richard type, comes in and says that's a free to Hopwood. Now better throw the ball back to him, guys, or he'll find himself with a 25-metre penalty. As it is, Smith standing the mark. Hopwood outer side wing for the Dogs. Just assessing his options. That was a good goal by Richardson for West Adelaide. Bring them back to the 4. Goes short and finds Elijah Ware. Late inclusion for the Dogs. Noodles Ware, as they call him out here at Central District, goes short and finds Schooler. Back to Hopwood. Coming into the game now. That's an ordinary kick up towards half forward. And coming through and taking a good mark was Paul Pleasure for the Bloods.
Yeah, it was a good mark too a few moments ago. Nathan's mark was certainly a contender for the Flare Curtains and Blinds mark of the day, along with Shannon Ruskers in the first quarter. Here we go. Norman takes the easiest of marks, but he can go forward quickly and have a one-on-one contest, or he can hold the ball. He's going to hold the ball, which means that Central District will flood back and zone as they do, which means then that Norman will take his time, which in turn will get the Central District supporters upset.
It's
a vicious circle, isn't it?
It goes round and around all day.
Here we go. Norman's going to back himself in, so let's see how he goes. He's going to kick from 55 with Breeze behind. Off the boot, distance might not be a problem.
That is a great kick.
Thank you very much, he says. Goal number 3 to West Adelaide. Maybe that's a lesson for most of West Adelaide fans. Rather than going deep, look for a man just on 50. You come into contention pretty quickly. 3-3, 21 on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Central's 5-5, 35. That's footy on 5DM.
You saying you want a lounge suite? Well, you better be getting yourself into the Lounge Barn. Forget paying retail. The Lounge Barn manufacture lounges, so you pay less. They got hundreds of lounges ready-made, or you can have them made just how you like them. Any lounge, any size, any design. And you only pay manufacturer's prices. The Lounge Barn, 270 Grand Junction Road, Apple Park. Get lounges for less at the Lounge Barn. Yeehaw!
Yeah, Steve Jack, we're a big fan of the Lounge Barn ad. I don't know if it's the banjo or the yeehaw that Jax likes, but he enjoys it very much. And the Dogs will enjoy it if they can get a goal out of this forward thrust. As Stratala stats it towards James Gowans. Good stuff to Bello. He's kicked one already. Can he kick two into that strong breeze? Wobbly footy goes across the face, dribbles through for 1 point. So Central at the 18-minute mark, or 18-minute and 20-second mark to be exact, go to 5-6-36, West 3-3-21.
Sorry, John Nanks, you're right, Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Really good effort by McCabe. Wasn't rewarded a few moments ago, but chased hard and a desperate attempt to smother. Didn't quite come off. Maybe it applied enough pressure that made Bello not find the mark. Let's see, Schmidt, can he find the mark? He can. Taken late in the end was Rusker, who, as we mentioned earlier, is a contender for the Flare Curtains and Blinds mark of the day. Takes another mark under pressure. Around about centre of Nap Oval, kicks to within 45. Richardson under the ball, Malinowski. I tell you what, he could be dangerous here. Left foot kick with the aid of the breeze. Offline, behind. Roved it nicely, though. West Adelaide 3-4, Central's 5-6. Quick change. That's in the way of Ruckman for West Adelaide. Steinford off, and coming on is Leonard Clark.
19 minutes gone this second term. West Adelaide only kicking 2-3 with the breeze. Wouldn't be overly happy with that, as Quentin Graham has the ball defensive 50. Handballs over the top looking for Zebinella, the Frenchman. He's tackled, goes to ground, diving in now. Donaldson gave to Smith, to Rusker. Dangerous for the Central side as Kent gets the footy to Rusker. He's kicked one today, goes at his second, tucked around in that pocket, and has just missed everything. I think the umpire's come charging in to have a chat to the goal umpire.
Could be a free kick.
It is a free kick.
Is it a free kick, or has it gone out of play? The umpire's, I think, conferring with the goal umpire to say, are you sure it went through for a point, I guess?
The boundary umpire was a long way away. The goal umpire...
Out on the full, there was the call.
Well, it looked like it was either going to be a just sneak through out of bounds on the full. Bit of conferring, good stuff to see from the umpires, and a free kick will go to Thomas in the left back pocket.
I guess the central umpire has the final say, and he did. He was positive that it went out on the full, and so he had the call. And Central District, as a result of that call, will come grandstand side where they're found off to Hyde, and he'll run along the line. Against the breeze, can he find Krieg? He can. Nice leg too, Krieg. Nice work by him. There's under good pressure from Andrew Crowell, who's on for West Adelaide. Led to the ball he was. And off they go, Central District, Bradley Symes. Look away handball was good enough to open the door for Tyson Hay. He goes inboard. Cowan's the target. Cowan's the man that takes the ball. And he handballs off, and off the doggies go.
Yep, some more run for Central District. Sibanella kicking up towards half forward. Wrestling there. Chris Gowans manages to shrug off his opponent there in Harris. He kicks inside forward 50. Bouncing ball. Illman led proper threat to the ball, but over a rat. Now he handballs for Ware. Here's a goal coming up. Noodles Ware bangs it through from straight in front. And on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, 21 minutes gone, second term. The doggies 6-6-42. 20-point leads over West Adelaide, 4-4-28.
Yeah, nice build-up there by Central District, and yeah, probably a little bit of inexperience there by the big man Illman, because he really shouldn't have been bodied out of that one by Prokopec. Cannot let the ball get past you when there's no one else behind you except goals and opponent.
Yeah, it's a dangerous business, but I guess he had to go, didn't he? But
he had to go, but he just can't. He cannot let that ball get past you, and you see what price you pay when it does. Quick change, Miles coming off for West Adelaide, and Nordhausen coming back on. Ball in the centre. Clark gets the touch. Nice work. Off West Adelaide go through Luke Nathan. Inside 50. Can they find Norman? They can. Gets it on the half volley. Holds his ground. Tries to handball off, but can't. Daniel Shell under pressure. Pokes it out James Gowan's way. And that is on the right half-back flank.
James Gowans has the footy. Nordhausen paying him some close attention. Gowans goes round now onto the right foot up towards this wing position. Paul Pleasure thumping away from Bello. Down in the Rusker direction. He handballed to Dre. He couldn't handle it. Coming in again, lending support for Stockland. Go the handball over top to Thomas there away and running out the dog. He had a couple of bounces. 60 from goal. Squares up looking for the central player there in Krieg. Went over his head coming through. Harris has the footy. Tackled as he gets his kick away, but clears the danger zone. It's out of bounds. About 55 round from the doggies' goal.
Central 6-6-42. West Adelaide 3-4-22. 20-point margin. 22 points gone. Second quarter, and the Angus Securities match of the day. Ball to be thrown back in. It will be thrown back in within 55 of Central goals. Who's going to be the first player there? Could be Ratley. Is Ratley. He's taken over the boundary line, so we'll have a take two. Interesting match. Central District just starting to flex a little bit now. West Adelaide hanging in there at best. I think that was always their plan. And they ventured out this way undermanned. John Nankerville.
Ball back into play. One down there by Prokopec. Comes away with Donaldson. He's tackled well by a central player there in Cochrane. Hard nut Cochrane. There's a lot of agile stuff up around the forward line, but he can also put in the tackles and do the tough stuff like so many of these doggies players can. Umpire throws the footy up. In from the side there was the central player, winning it back towards their goals. Diving in, shoveling out a handball was Donaldson. Unfortunately for him, it went straight to Bello, who handballed to Illman. So a few errors out there now. West Adelaide have a chance to clear as Nathan's kick, not a good one. Marked by his opposite number 2 in Hay. He bursts forward about 70 from goal, puts it up there. Chris Gowans at the back. He couldn't quite handle the mark. Good pressure there from Harris. Players diving on top of the football. Umpire comes charging in and says, I'll have it about 20 out from Central's goal.
Yeah, good effort there. Had the set, did Chris Gowans. So we're 20 out, as John Nankerville said, from Central goals. They're kicking against the breeze. Nicely laid down for C. Gowans. Couldn't find the handle on that ball, so there'll be another bounce down. Trying to open up what's a fairly tight can of players here at the moment. The Central District try to assert their authority in stoppages as they can. Champion, quick kick out of that stoppage. Will fall in the hands of Harris, whose handball more in hope than anything. Didn't find the man, but he was interfered with as he handballed, and unfairly, says the umpire. So the doggies will give that free kick away. And West Adelaide, right half-back flank, outer side of the ground, kicking to the northern end. 24 minutes gone. We'll try to thread one through to Champion, who's butted up for another touch. He hasn't been their worst player, been pretty solid, actually.
Been impressive, Wade Champion. You're at right half back now. Oh, again, we give him a rapid kicks into the man on the mark. James Gowan charges through. Almost takes too long with that ball. Puts Bello under some pressure. He's tackled well to ground by big fellow out there in Clark. Probably one of the biggest things, one of the smallest men in that duel. But here goes the dog. Splatala grabs it to Cochrane, who we spoke of earlier. He's been good. Runs inside 50. Has a bounce. Goes to the right foot. Kick towards the goals. And it's just across the face and hits the behind post on the second bounce and goes out of bounds with 25 minutes gone in the second. And just looking at the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, Central 6-6-42, West 3-4-22.
Yeah, I reckon Krieg just needed to make a decision then. He was an option, but he wasn't the right one, and Cochrane was unsure as to what he should do. Dre off the ground for West Adelaide, only as far as Symes, who's come back on. Importantly, Salamasanu, through courtesy of a pretty hard hit, had him off, hasn't come back on himself. He butters up again, nicely worked. He fights pretty hard. Can they get out of trouble, West Adelaide, through Donaldson? They can't. He's handball, though, towards the boundary line. Seagowns can't keep the ball in. Nordhausen just makes sure that he stays out. It'll be a boundary throw-in. Grandstand side, Nap Oval, 25 and a quarter minutes gone. Central 6-6 and West Adelaide 3-4.
I like Nordhausen, got a bit of spirit about him as the ball back into play. Symes, quick kick to the Dogs inside 50, charging out there in front of Bello, trying to knock it away was McCabe, nothing doing. Malnowski couldn't gather in for the Bloods. McCabe in again, trying a tackle on Cowan. He shrugged free, ball spills out towards Swatala, who in turn handballs to Officer, who goes to James Gowans inside 50. He can kick it from here, gets around Dre, onto the right boot, wobbly old kick, and you won't see that happen too often. The Gowans boy missing from straight in front inside 50.
He did all the hard work and backed himself in to get around a West Adelaide man, straighten up within 25 and just really struggled. Surprising. Anyway, Donaldson goes towards the outer side. They've got a bit of room to move here, West Adelaide, if they want to force the issue. And they do through Schmidt, who grabs the ball, loses his footing, but and right on half-time doesn't get a chance to kick. West Adelaide at half-time, 3 goals, 4-22. Trails Central District by 21 points. The Doggies are 6-7-43. Goal kickers for Central. Marco Bello has one, as does Richard Cochran, Chris Gowans and Elijah Ware. 2 to Nicholas Prokopek. And for West Adelaide, 3 single goal scorers, Shannon Ruska, Luke Norman and Ed Richardson will come back at a few minutes from now and give you our quarter-by-quarter summary. Thanks to Cutaway Mini Skips. You're listening to Footy on 5GN.
Ride this home with back to Nap Oval for the second half, thanks to Angus Security.
Good on you, Mark. Thanks for that. 21 points the margin here. Central 6-7, West Adelaide 3-4, just before Angela leaves us. Your call of Central District winning this game at this stage looks correct. You don't want to change that, obviously, but what do you think the final... Let's test you. What do you think the final margin could be?
I think my calls have been pretty good at the minute.
They've been
Miles
excellent.
is out there.
Yes.
The Lim is on the bench.
Yes.
So
2 out of 2. Let's go for 3 out of 3.
Okay, I'll say Central will beat us by approximately 5 goals.
5 goals, 30 points. We'll see how you go. Third quarter underway. Andrew will touch base again on the way home, hopefully.
Yes,
talk to you then. John Nankerville, your caller.
Tough stuff again here at the beginning of this third term at Nap Oval. Ball will be bounced down after Paul Pleasure was tackled to the ground. The umpire throws the footy up in the air. Steinfort versus Scholar. Steinfort got a hand on it, trying to bust through there. Was a West Adelaide player. Umpire's picked out a free kick, and it's going to go the way of that player. It was Paul Pleasure, he mentioned in the break. Has been playing pretty well for West Adelaide, Jason Paul Pleasure. He's got the footy at centre-half back right now, and he's just assessing his options. There's not a lot on for the Bloods anywhere on the ground. He goes short out towards half-back, where the mark has been taken out there for West Adelaide by Harris. It is number 45. Spent some time on the bench, and he too just doesn't have lots to kick to in the end, and he goes short again, and this time Big Steinfort out there, 1 sock up, 1 sock down. He's at left half back out there on the outer side wing, and the Bloods just being really shut down again by Central in the opening seconds of this third term, and Steinfort has been one of their better players.
As you can see, no man on the mark.
Yeah.
They're just encouraging Steinfort to play on. He's not being seduced into that play. So they're just doing what we thought they might have done at the start of the game, holding on to the ball. And I think the key here for the Bloods is to say, OK, the margin's 21 points. With a bit of luck, maybe we can reel you in 30 minutes of football when we've got the breeze. But just for the moment, we're going to frustrate you a little bit. And in saying that, Central have zoned up quite nicely too. The long kick falls in the arms of Sculler, who takes a good mark out of side wing.
Paul Sculler has the football for Central. What can the Dogs set up? Players running in the middle of the ground. He goes up towards the half-forward line. Back forming at the back was Bello. Ball goes over his head. Dre for the Bloods takes it on the bounce. Handball's out in that Nordhausen direction. He goes short and finds Ratley. Would have only just gone to 15, about 14.9, I think, that kick.
I think about 4.9, I thought.
Well, after the Gowans kick in that second term, it was touch and go. And now again, West Adelaide just holding the football up. As Poppy said, Mark Ratley wearing the long sleeves, Guernsey, number 49, out there in front of the Elizabeth, one of the light towers there. As the Central fans getting a bit excited, and Ratley goes with the kick now up towards half forward. Back there, coming through from the side, Kent dump the ball down. Here goes a chance for Central through Hopwood. High up and under kick towards half forward. It's going to land in Ratley's arms again. No coming in from behind was Steinfort taking the grab.
He certainly does. Left half-back flank. Now, this is deja vu because about 3 or 4 minutes ago, well, it couldn't have been because we only played 2, but, you know, a moment ago, Steinfort had the ball in exactly the same place. Goes short this time, finds Dre. He's probably more accurately now at left half-back flank. He'll give it back to Steinfort. He does. So Central are zoning back. I know the fans don't like this, but if you check out the positioning of the players, you've got 18 Central District players in front of the player with the ball. And it's always going to be like this. If someone says, well, you want to play that way, we'll play our way. But unfortunately, supporters of the losers goes towards the outer side. Mark taken again by West Adelaide. And this time, it's either Donaldson, I reckon, or Nathan, as John Nankerville will have the responsibility of picking that player up.
Looks a bit almost like Crowd. You don't think Crowd?
Oh, dear.
He hasn't seen him for a while, so Crowell goes towards half forward for West Adelaide, having his first run for a while. Ware couldn't take the ball out of bounds in front of Donaldson. They are light towers out there on the outer side, aren't they? They're just little mini ones.
They are.
Out there.
They are. They thought they probably brought those in today thinking they might need them.
Yeah, miners lamps type stuff. Ball back into play out of side Central. Can they get a run going? Tyson Hay, handball under pressure, going nowhere. West Adelaide player has it. I think it's Harris. He's wrapped up by a couple of Doggies players. Umpire comes in, says, I'll bounce it between forward 50 arc and left half forward for the Bloods.
Well, the Bloods have got a man loose in defence, and that's Steinfort, who's playing a kick behind the play, just helping his teammate there on Shell. And around the ball, we've got about 12.5 players, and then we've got a sprinkling of players in various positions around the ground. But basically, you win the stoppage, you're halfway home. Ball thrown down. Let's see who wins the stoppage. There ain't much room to move, to put it quite frank. So, with 4.5 minutes gone of this third quarter, and Central District kicking with the aid of a breeze, they haven't threatened their forward 50 nor have West Adelaide, but they might do that right now. Here they go, taken low. No, play on the call. So there'll be a bounce down just inside the boundary line, but still 85 metres from home for West Adelaide. Central 6-7-43, West Adelaide 3-4-22. That score is on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Don't forget, after the match, we'll be looking for a Guja Fish Calf man of the match and also a Flare Curtains and Blinds mark of the day, of which Ruska and Nathan are contenders at the moment. John Nankerville.
Umpires picked out a free kick going the way of Ed Richardson. He wastes no time, goes short to forward 50, and Storman Norman comes out on the lead and takes the mark. Still about 60-65 from goal, West Adelaide, so they're not getting much ground. It's been a hard slog in this first 5 minutes of the third term, all on that outer side. Ball probably travelled about 30 metres in that 5-minute period since West Adelaide won it out the middle. Norman still holding on to the football. Here's a good kick of the footy. We saw him kick a long goal from outside 50 in the second term. Now he goes and sits it up towards the top of the square. At the back there's Kent. 2 Central players stump it away from him. Who's crumbing? It's Officer getting a little handball out in the direction of his teammate there, and James Gowans. He's ridden into the ground. Umpire comes running in. Was a good tackle, Poppy, and there'll be a bounce about 25 out from the Bloods' goal.
Well, kicking against the breeze as they are now, West Adelaide. They managed 1-1 in the first quarter. They'd like to make the most of this forward thrust. 15 metres out from home, see what's happened. Central District grabbed the ball first. Nice work by Gowan. A throw is called, and I think it's West Adelaide's way. Well, it's a courageous decision, that one, but I've got to say I didn't see it. In saying all of that, you know, when they didn't call the holding the ball decision, although it was a different umpire, you know, that's a double-edged sword for Central District, unfortunately. So the free kick will go West Adelaide's way, and to really make them pay, they need to put this one through, but the decision at best was doubtful.
It was doubtful. Dylan Kent has the footy. Certainly not a lot of consistency there in terms of free kicks in front of goal in that situation. Now, Kent's had a couple of shots from goal from a similar distance. Rushed through on both occasions. He comes in now, the number 1 for West Adelaide. Not a bad kick off the boot. That's a good kick. That's gone right through the middle. And after 6 3/4 minutes of this third term, we have the first score on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. It's the Bloods 4-4-28, 15 points behind the Dogs, 6-7-43. You're listening to 5 the End footy.
Listen carefully, because I've got to be quick. Grundy Shoes 20% off store-wide sale is on. And they're taking 20% off this commercial. So I have to hurry. 20% off all the leading brands, like Rockport, Slatters, Echo and Hush Puppy. The 20% off store-wide sale, on now at Grundy Shoes.
So what do I do for the other 20%?
Grundy Shoes, 20% off store-wide sale. On now at Grundy Shoes, Rundle Street City and Jetty Road, Glenelg. Hurry, sale ends June 30.
Around the grounds on 5DN footy, great opening third term for North. 4 goals in the first couple of minutes, 9-6-60. Leading Port 3-5-23 to Wet Adelaide Oval. At Glenelg, it's Glenelg 4-5-29. South coming back 4-3-27. At Unley Oval, Sturt by 3 points, 4-4-28 over the Eagles 4-1-25. And into the final term at Skilled Stadium, it's Geelong 10-11-71, leading Brisbane 9-10-64. Back to Nap Oval.
Where the score is Central District 6-7-43, West Adelaide 4-4-28. The margin back to 15 points, which from memory was somewhere around the margin at quarter time. In fact, it was as I checked my score sheet and the budget. And West Adelaide will go forward. Quick kick from the pack comes grandstand side, races on. First player there, the Doggies. Nice tackle though. And it closes down play just momentarily. Almost a free kick. I saw umpire Richard Williams put the whistle to the mush, but didn't blow the air. So there'll be a bounce down now. Centre of the Nap Oval. Centrals, as I mentioned, kicking to the Steinborner Holden end, the northern end of the Nap Oval. But at this stage, not threatening the goals at all. West Adelaide 4-4-28. How many minutes we played this?
8.5 in this
third quarter. Why don't you take things over, John, and see if you can't clear this congestion?
Well, Richard Williams has the football, just having a look. He's crossed himself. I think there's a blood rule. I think it's one of the Gowans boys. It's James Gowans. And he said, well, it's not that bad, Richard. I'll just wipe it off. And he said, all right, we'll go with that. Ball thrown up now. Quick kick from Paul Pleasure for the Bloods. High up and under ball. Probably should bring down some rain. Schooler was up, couldn't grab the ball. Comes off hands. Who's going to get there? It's Crow for his second position since coming on for the Bloods. He's tackled to the ground. Players dive in on top, and Richard Williams comes in and says, I'll have a bounce. Grandstand side here at Elizabeth Oval. 9.5 gone.
All right, well, I've never busted a pack in my life, but I'll see if I can do it for you here right now. Steinford gets the tap. Can he find a man? Hay comes through cleverly and hard, but can't take the pill with him. No, I can't get to that, John Nankerville. Give you a go. Let's keep on rotating.
Well, currently 15 points the margin in favour of Central, 43-28. Stroller versus Steinford in the ruck. Thomas does it for us now, thumping out towards half forward for the Bulldogs. Race is on, the two lookalikes, Cochrane and Bello. Cochrane toe-poking it forward towards 50. He's got young McCabe hot in his hammer. Could be a push in the back. It is.
I thought that was sloppy by McCabe. He didn't need to do it anyway. I mean, he was under enough pressure with the boundary line coming on in Cochrane that he really just needed to see him over.
So Richard Cochrane getting the shoe back on after his boot came off. Plays on now. Kicked up towards the teeth of the goal square for the Dogs. Dumped off hands. Couple of West Adelaide players there. It's poor Pleasure who desperately gets a scurry kick out towards the back pocket, and the ball will go out of bounds there as we've just crossed 10 minutes. It's the Bloods trailing Central by 15 points.
It's not pretty footy, but for West Adelaide, it's what they need to do. Just close up shop, really, and keep in touch. That's what we thought they might try to do, as we discussed with Angela and ourselves during the Cartaway Mini Skips summary at half-time. Oh, dropping the ball against Jay Gowns. He's not happy with it at all. Have a few words for Felicia. Gives ground but keeps possession. West Adelaide will go towards the outer side where Nathan could be an option. He is. Can he take the mark? He'll need to, or at least he'll need to get possession very quickly. They're starting to close in quickly. West Adelaide, nicely done. Off they go. Looks up forward, not many options. They're trying to work it out, and they're going to run themselves into trouble shortly. No, get out of trouble and go towards the half-forward line. Dylan Kent works to the front, takes the mark, no, drops maybe what he should have taken. In actual fact, the umpire said he dragged Tyson Hay, I think, off to hide out of the contest, and so he'll take the free kick.
So off to hide from right half back for the Dogs. They lead by 15 points, 11 minutes gone, third term. Coming up from behind, big stump by Cowan. Free kick's going to go the way of the West Adelaide player in McCabe, I think it was. And he's floating it up, young McCabe. Teammates coming in just to see if he's all right, but he's getting to his feet now. Out there underneath one of the Elizabeth Oval light towers. And he'll have a free kick from left half back for West Adelaide. I like saying that, Elizabeth Oval light towers. McCabe has the footy. Only a young fella playing his third game of SANFL footy. He's assessing his options. Whether West Adelaide are going to hold it in now, or he's held the footy up, so we're looking at a set play. Now he goes reasonably long with that kick. It's going to lob on the wing. It's not a good kick. Illman up from behind, got a hand on it, down in the Harris direction, who in turn gave to the run there of Ruska. He's been impressive.
Got some room.
Bounce. He has got some room. Gets past a couple of central players to Nordhausen, to Ruska, back in the Ratley direction now. 55 from goal, picks it up on the bounce. What does he do? Back to Ruska. He gets his third possession in about 30 seconds. Chips it up there, and Nordhausen takes the mark. 35 out, tucked around in that right forward pocket. Be a tough kick from there.
Oh, what? Where's the umpire positioned him?
Well, he's positioned
the umpire positioned him where Gowan's dragged him to, about 3 or 4 yards.
And he's positioning even further. It was good stuff by Gowans in terms of being professional, but he dragged him away.
Nordhausen was walking back to where he should have taken the kick from. Anyway, let's see if they can make them pay. Well, it doesn't make much difference, although Gowans has come in late again.
On Nathan, and the umpire says he'll keep it where it is, Dorwin. Malinowski and Chris Gowans exchanging a few how you do.
So the umpire just
They're all coming in now.
The umpire can't let them keep on getting away with that. All they need to do is play a couple of 25s and they slow down a bit.
Well, James Gowan, surprising enough, is standing on the mark and ignoring it all. It's Chris doing most of the chatting on this occasion. Luke Nathan does have the football for the Bloods, and Poppy, if he kicks this, it'll be a 9-point ball game.
But the thing is, the Gowans don't actually break the rules, but they stretch them to breaking point. So, you know, either way, it's going to be a tough call. Nevertheless, let's see what we got here. Luke Nathan, the player with the kick. He'll need to go right of right goalpost. 45-degree angle, even tighter, and 40 out.
That's a good kick. It swung right around. And has it gone through? I think it's gone across the face. It swung right around and through across the other side of the goal and through for a point. So on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, West Adelaide go to 4-5-29, 14 points behind the Doggies, 6-7-43.
In fairness to the Gowans, what they do, they intimidate, and they do, you know, go sometimes beyond the call, but then they just get on with the game. They just get on with the game. The Central District do just that, go towards the outer side. Kick finds Elijah Ware, takes the ball and off it goes like a hare, takes 10 steps and kicks 35. Steinford, though, puts himself in contention for a Flair Curtains and Blinds mark of the day on the half-back line, and concerningly, 13 minutes into the third quarter, he starts to cramp. Gives the ball to Dre on the half-back line also. He'll go to Ratley. Or will he? Yeah, no, thought about it. Ratley was closed down by C. Gowans. John Nankerville.
Ben Dre has the football deep in defence for West Adelaide. Again, we said the Bloods at the fourth time this quarter. Just holding it up, not a lot of options. He goes out towards half-back. It's going to be a tough effort for Nathan.
Oh, good mark.
Coming up from behind and taking a good grab was young McCabe. We've got a few possessions in this third term. He's out there at left half-back, where he had got the free kick a few moments earlier. And he's just, again, going with the kick now up towards left half forward. Coming out to get the footy was Richardson. Right there with him was Graham. The ball bounces out of bounds in front of that pair, and there'll be a throw-in at a side here at Elizabeth Oval. 14.5 gone third term.
Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Central District 6-7-43. West Adelaide 4-5-29. And they'll try to get the ball clear of this stoppage, will West Adelaide. Held, though, by James Gowan. And so there'll be a bounce down. So West Adelaide, unbelievably, really, 14 points behind Central, but well in touch, given that they come home with a fairly decent breeze. I guess that's what the plan's going to be. Quick kick from the pack. Ed Richardson, front of the pack, edged out of it beautifully by Graham, and a penalty from another player. It wasn't Ed Richardson. And Edge is confused, but a player must have come through and caught him high as he went down. I'm not sure, but anyway, Graham will send the ball to within 40. Oh, geez, Cowan all by himself. Went straight through the midst, though. Prokopek tries to bust the pack and cannot. He takes the ground, ball spills out, and there'll be a bounce down. 35 metres from Central District goals now. On a 45-degree angle, they are kicking to the Steinborner Holden end of the Nap Oval. John Nankerville.
Umpire throws the footy in the air, one down by the Bloods. Donaldson there, all hard body work from Norman, grabbed the footy but lost it in the bounce. Donaldson goes in again. McCabe as well, a couple of Central players dive in on the footy, and there'll be a bounce. It's about 16 minutes gone in this third quarter. 14 points the margin, as Poppy said. It's certainly game on, but it's been a real struggle. Real arm wrestlers now. Cowan coming in the ruck, couldn't quite grab it. Illman does for the Bloods. It's a quick kick out of defence up towards half-back. Not a good kick because Eve Sibonella, solid as always, takes the mark. He plays on now, 55 from goal. His kick was smothered by Nordhausen, and some good work there from Champion as well. Nordhausen now goes in, grabs it, handballs out towards half-back. It's going to be a race for pace. Swatala will lead both Ratley and Rusker to the ball. Shovels it out in the Elijah Ware direction. Going in hard was Ratley. Players diving on the footy now. Ratley tackles the Central player who gets a quick handball. Quick little kick it was, in fact, out. But now the Bloods through Smith, who in turn goes to his teammate there, and Nordhausen to get the hurried kick towards half forward. Ball go out of bounds in front of Kent and off to high. There'll be a throw in left half forward. 14 points to margin in favour of the Dogs. Nearly 17 gone third term.
Rusker just winded at half back. The ball at half forward. Good result for West Adelaide. Tackling and pressure on Sibonella was excellent. Ball thrown in. Malinowski of all people, the jockey-like player, thought about contesting the ruck. Porplesia roved the ball and left foot kick gained 25 valuable metres, kicking against the breeze. His side trailing by 14 points The ball 65 metres from West Adelaide goals. They are kicking to the southern end. The clouds are starting to roll in. Not sure that we might not get a sprinkling of rain before this game's over. 17 minutes gone, third quarter. Ball out on the full. Free kick will go to the Doggies, or will it?
Going the way of the Bloods.
Go the way of the Bloods. Here we go.
Champion has a football. Wade Champion. Again, not a lot of them. He's just zone off Central, and they make it hard to do anything for West Adelaide now. He kicks inside 50 more and Hope, and he's in crowds there one-on-one. Nearly got it in front position, got his hands on it. Poor Pleasure got the ball. It was smothered, and here go the Dogs now. Hopwood to Krieg. High kick out towards the outer side wing. Goes over to the two ruckmen in the duel there. Schooler couldn't grab it. Steinfort goes down the ground, tries to pick it out. Schooler comes in and steals it from him. He's tackled the ground well, though. Ball spills out. He's a chance for Central now. Shell got it from a handball and kicked up towards the forward 50 arc. One-on-one there. Oh, good defensive bark by Norman. Two big fellas, Norman and Prokopek, dueling well. And Norman wasting no time out towards defensive 50, where it's Donaldson who's got the footy for the Bloods.
Yeah, not much difference in body size between Norman and Prokopek, but a fair bit in experience. West Adelaide's Norman has played 84 games at this level, and Prokopek, unfortunately for him, has played just 7. That was the difference in that contest. The ball at the half-back line. As this game sort of wrestles its way through the third quarter, we might take an opportunity, Mark Alliston back in the studio, to check scores.
Yeah, around the grounds, guys, at Adelaide Oval, 7 goals to North Adelaide in this third term. 12-6-78 over Port, 4-6-30. Lead changes in the other game. South now in front, 5-6-36 at Glenelg Oval. Over the Tigers, 5-6-30. And the Eagles in front at Unley Oval, 6-3-39 over Sturt, 4-4-28. And about halfway through the final term, Geelong 11-12-78, leading the Brisbane Lions 9-11-65. Back to you, boys.
Looks like an upset there at Skilled Stadium. We'll have to keep our ears open on that. Here at Elizabeth Oval, or Nap Oval, the 14-point margin in favour of Central, and School are tapping it out towards the boundary line again. Who's going to get there first? It's going to be Luke Nathan picking it up for the Bloods. Gets it inside the boundary line, has to get around one of the Gowan kids, so, but his handball was a shot that's got into the lap of Krieg. He's away now. Right foot kick to the arc of 50. Shell was in front, ball went over he and Harris's head, he and Dre's head, should I say. Dre now steaming through, tackled there well, but managed to knock it out, but unfortunately into a central plate. It's Chris against to James, tackled as he kicked it, and his kick, as a result, has gone right across the face. The umpire's run about 2 goals square length away, but it's just snuck through for a point. So Central 6-8-44 on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard, 4-5-29 the Bloods. Nearly 20 minutes gone in this third term.
Really good play by Norman there. He's actually having Prokopek for afternoon tea. He's getting rid of him quite easily. But the desperation in just to apply pressure on Gowans was enough for him to spray it left. It's only a benefit of 5 points to his team. That could be all the difference. The margin is just 15 towards as Nathan brings the ball back into towards the outer side. Looks for Steinford. Big fly. Probably Cowan, given the height of the fly. Bellow, the 1-2, picks it up, gives, and off they go. Steinborner, not a good left foot kick normally, but his kick was nice. Let's see if Gowan can't find something. He does. Gives to Krieg. And to say that was a much needed goal for Central is the understatement of the afternoon. Central District 7-8-50. That score of the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. West Adelaide 4-5-29. You're listening to Footy on 5DN.
And there's another one that'll soon be on a plate at the Guja Fish Cafe. That's how fresh the seafood is at the Guja Fish Cafe. Fresh from South Australian oceans to the tables at the Guja Fish Cafe. Established over 30 years and recognised internationally for the freshest seafood and the finest fish and chips. For lunch or dinner, it's got to be Adelaide's home of seafood. The Guja Fish Cafe, 98 Guja Street, 8231-2320.
21 goals in this third term. Central just getting a little bit more breathing space. They're out to a 21-point lead. The U-Dogs chant has started. Maybe a little prematurely, but the Central fans are pretty confident. Scholar in the ruck down towards Bellow. He's tackled well by Poor Pleasure. Big hit there on Cochrane. Players diving on the footy, and the umpire comes in and says, I'll have a bounce. On the attacking side of centre for the Central District side, Krieg getting a much-needed goal there. Was back to 15 points, and you just thought maybe West Adelaide another goal might bring some life into the game. But at the end of the day, the Dogs getting that setting 6-pointer. The umpire throws it up. Young Leonard Clark in the ruck, won it down, went past McCabe, but Poor Pleasure has been close to West Best. Fired it out in the Nordhausen direction. He hacks it off the ground. Big soccer kick out towards half forward. It's going to be Champion who's there first. Steinburner closing in. Champion goes with a short kick towards forward 50. Goes past off the high, but it's picked up by Graham by the Dogs. Return handballs back towards Steinburner. Ball out of play though. Sloppy skill errors here at Nap Oval. About 60 metres round from the West Adelaide goal. 22 minutes gone. It's Central by 21 points. as the boundary umpire throws the footy back into play. Over everybody's heads on that occasion, and steaming over it is Tyson Hay, who'll be up there for man of the match as well from the Goodyear Fish Cafe. As the kick from Ware up towards half forward, ball comes offhand. A couple of central players sharing it around there, but West have it stolen from that player, and in the air the players are diving indiscriminately, and there'll be a bounce at about right half forward for the Dogs. 22.5 gone, they lead by 21 points.
They do indeed. 7-8 plays 4-5. West Adelaide will come home with the aid of a fairly significant breeze that's starting to straighten up just a little bit, favouring the Steinborner Holden end. A quick interchange. Thomas will come on for Central District, and coming off is Scholar, so a tall for a short, as we see big Leonard Clark contest the ruck for West Adelaide. And we've really got a stalemate here. We've become accustomed to this from West Adelaide in recent weeks. I guess you've got to do what you've got to do, put yourself in a winning position. Dion Miles works himself back to fill in a gap as Norman takes on Thomas, who came in to the ground. And Dion Miles is an extra defender right now. Here we go. Crowell goes for touch. John Nankerville.
Crowell, it was, you're right, probably going for touch, and that's what they've been doing a lot this quarter. The Bloods out of bounds, out of side wing, as this third quarter ekes along into the 23rd minute, 23.5 gone to be exact.
Only 2 goals scored, John.
Yeah, it's been teeth-pulling stuff, as Corey Wingard would say. West Adelaide now, Nordhausen working hard. Ratley coming in to lend some support. In the end, Central will see it out of bounds in exactly the same spot as we saw it out last time, as we see Dylan Kent down there warming up on the bench, and Salim Hassan in his tracksuit top, gingerly walking around there, looking very sore indeed.
I think Rennie's philosophy here is let's frustrate Central into playing a game they don't want to, and hopefully on the counter-punch get ourselves into the equation. Leonard Clark, for a big man, good athletic ability, kicks to the advantage of Ed Richardson. He needs to turn and push into space, and he doesn't. And he needs to do it quickly because the flood will come back quickly. He's actually got Central on the break here. Now, here they come now. Need to take a chance sometimes. Dion Miles is still a chance. Here we go now. Kicks to within 25. Has he got a winner here? No, he hasn't. Rode beautifully by Gowans, who'll draw and then give to Hopwood, who'll come grandstand side marginally. The kick is nicely weighted. And Quinton Graham, John Nankerville, takes the mark and plays on.
He does for Tyson Hay. He gets a kick from left half back up towards the contest there between Illman and Prokopec. Almost a holding decision. Donaldson streaming out for West Adelaide. Couldn't pick it up. Cochran tight against the line. Somehow kept it in like man back in addition. Goes short in time. Thomas. Back up the several fans. It tries. Thomas, long, strong kick towards the goals, but it's bouncing through for a point. Almost a nice off break there from Thomas, but through for one behind. Central go out to a 22-point lead. There's 7 goals, 9.51, West 4-5-29.
Yeah, and I think Cochran's effort to keep that ball in is a contender for the Glenburn Fabrics magic moment of the day. Nice, neat play. Pretty to watch, and he finished off nicely, and Thomas, well, almost made West Adelaide pay the ultimate price. They've got the ball, they bring it back in, go towards the outer side. Leonard, the target, big thump forward. Now puts West Adelaide in all sorts of pressure. Steinburner tried to knock it to the advantage of Shell. Now a quick kick around the body, around the face of goal. It's all Central District. They just need to keep the ball in and find Gowans. No, gives ground, firing goes. Oh my goodness, that's a good result though for West Adelaide in that third quarter, because Central District added 1 goal 2 and West Adelaide added 1 goal 1. At 3/4 time here at the Napa Oval, Angus Securities match of the day. Central District 7-9-51. West Adelaide 4-5-29, a short break. Back with goal scorers and better. The margin didn't blow out. That was important for West Adelaide. Let's see if they don't open it up right now. Oh, well, I'll tell you, they will open it up right now because they want to give themselves a position of winning. They will be kicking with the aid of a strong breeze to the Steinborner Holden end, the northern end. Your commentator is John Nankerville.
Yeah, I look a little bit like Corey Wingard.
I nearly got that out, didn't I?
Not quite as handsome. Quick kick, though, towards the half-forward line for the Central side. Diving in there was Bello. Coming in to lend some support was Smith. His kick was smothered. Coming in now, good work there by McCabe, who gave to Stifle. He hasn't stopped trying for Bloods. He kicks out towards this outer side wing where the mark's been taken by Nordhausen. At left half back for the Bloods. Goes to ground. Plays on now the handball to the run of another youngster in McCabe. Come into it a bit in this second. I've got a few times. Oh, portable. That's portable. Almost, I'd agree. His officer going with the mark there was struck pretty heavily by one Ed Richardson, and he will take the free kick at right half back for the Dogs. They lead by 22 points, Central. You can't see too much changing as the game has a massive overhaul. And Schooler plays on, not a good kick, sets up Bello. Schmidt comes in, comes down to Rush. That's soft as butter. Free kick going the way of the Dogs for a high tackle. I didn't see it, Popstar.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that one. I thought Ed Richardson just pulled back on his, and on that occasion I thought the contact was fair anyway. Call it as you see it. Bello goes short to Schooler, who's just short of right half forward flank. And he'll now put it in the Daniel Shell territory, who's got the position. Norman comes in to make it hard, but in doing so opened up the door for Krieg, his direct opponent, who roved it beautifully right front and square. Kick to the top of the square. And I tell you what, that, if it wasn't a goal... Well, if you've ever been to the Crazy Horse and seen some pole dancing, Cochran needed to do just that. His left foot kick, though, wasn't what it needed to be, and it was sprayed across the face of goal and hit the left upright. In fact, if you ever saw that at the Crazy Horse, you would have chucked in $5 into that garter belt. It was good play except for the finish.
Yeah, 23 points to margin as Miles takes the mark. Defensive 50 for the Bloods. So over the bullet line, kick up towards half back. Steinfort working hard there against his central opponent there in Cowan. There'll be a bounce about 60 out from the Central District goal. It could have almost been the stealer there from Cochrane. You think it would be hard for West to get back from here, but if they've got to start like that, Central, in the first couple of minutes of this final term, it would have been all over. Poor Pleasure under pressure. His kick actually goes back towards Central goal. Coming through, he's doing some mopping up with Rusker. Hasn't been too bad for the Blood today, so I set up Poor Pleasure on that occasion. He goes to Illman, playing his first game of footy, the former Adelaide 36er. Handball's under pressure. Now the Dogs have a chance through Gow and J-type. Kicks up towards the top of the square. Shell resting with Dre. Ball fills to back. Krieg got one in the third. Decides to handball it off, finds Swatala. He kicks it up towards the top of the square. Shell there coming through Steinburner. They collide. That's not a great deal of talk there from Central, and the ball comes out towards Harris for the Blood. He's tackled. Dogs fans want holding the ball. Umpire says play it on. They do. Scrabbly stuff. McCabe comes up with it. Spills away from him. Steinburner has a chance to kick a goal. Gets to round one. Goes back on it. Nathan Steinburner. And at the 3-minute mark of his final term at Mass Oval, the Dogs go to 8 goals, 10-58. For West Adelaide, 4-5-29. You're listening to 5DN Footy.
Corrimal is proud to announce the safe arrival of their 2 new bouncing babies. First, there's the Corrimal Corvair Pop Top. And second, the Corrimal Princeton Hard Top. Both are brand new, both feature electric stoves and cooking elements, and both are manufactured with cute fiberglass fronts and rears. And both are available in on- and off-road versions. The new Corvair and Princeton, 2 brand new arrivals. From Corrimal, corner south of Deacon Road, Darlington. Go places.
Central are going places indeed. Officer has the footing. He lost it after screaming forward. Marnock's got it. The boundary line beat him. Dogs fans in full cry. They sense they've got this game wrapped up. There'll be a boundary throw in right in front of us here in the 5DN commentary box. And Central, 8 goals, 10, leading the Bloods 4 goals, 5 by 29 points. Comes away of Malinowski. He gets a kick up towards half forward. Going to go a bit longer there. Going to go inside 50. Off the hide was up. Ball comes off hands. Graham couldn't take it. Crowell applying the pressure on Symes. And coming in now to show some support was Rusker, who got it from Miles. Back towards the West Adelaide goal with that handball. Luck's of fortune ends up in the hands of Crowell. He gave to Richardson. Central fans want to throw. Oh, Richardson was running the open goal and was tackled. And the kick was smothered, and the umpire has called play on. Richardson has banged it through very well.
But he's crammed up at the same time. The goal has played. That was actually funny play. Have we got a Glenburn Fabrics funny play?
Comedy moment.
Yeah, Hopwood, illegally took Richardson, but he may have done enough to turn the game, because if Richardson's in a spot of bother with a cramp, he ran into an open goal, and, he was legged in no uncertain terms. The free kick was paid. Both players lost their footing, but Richardson played on quickly. They've got a much-needed goal. Let's get to the facts. His second goal of the afternoon, and West Adelaide now 5-5-35. Central's 8-10-58.
Ball kicked up towards the Central District Court. 50 Chris Gowans hasn't stopped trying. He takes the mark. Just keeping a bit of sniff in this game for West Adelaide as Gowans plays on, kicks towards the goal. Close them up. That's a great kick from Chris Gowans. And Central come right back at the 5.5-minute mark. They go to 9 goals, 10-64. West 5-5-35. Back out to a 29-point margin. You're listening to 5DN Footy.
Experts who know get their gardens to grow by spreading Nutrog all year round.
Kevin Perkins from the Botanic Gardens.
In winter, applying organic fertiliser like Bounce Back to your garden will develop root growth and condition your soil.
For stockers, call 1800 65 66 44. Bounce Back, part of Nutrog's year-round fertilising program.
Just spread Nutrog all year round.
Around the grounds on 5DN footy at Adelaide Oval, it's North 13-785 over Port Magpies 7-6-48. At Glenelg Oval, it's still Glenelg 12-7-79 over South 6-6-42. At Unley, it's Eagles 6-6-39, Sturt 4-4-28, and all over at Skills Stadium and a win to Geelong 13-14-92 over Brisbane 9-11-65. Back to Nap Oval.
Where Central go inside 50 again. They're in front by 29 points. Illman got the footy. Took a while to give it to Nathan, and he's been ping-holding the ball. Probably a fair enough decision. He went one way, went the other way, then back forth a couple of times. The umpire said, no, you had enough time. And the free kick's going to go to young Elijah Ware, who's already got one goal today for Central. He kicked that in the second term. And if it wasn't over before, if Ware slots this goal at the 6-minute and 52-second mark of this final term, it will be over without any shadow of a doubt. As Noodles Ware in the white boots comes in steadily but surely. Not the best of kick is going to land right on the line. Cowan in front, couldn't take the mark, comes off hands. Poor Fleischer, but his Darnison raced it through for a point. 7 minutes gone in the final term. Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. Central 9-11-65. The Bloods 5-5-35. Luke Donaldson worked hard today for West Adelaide. Always good down there in defence. Goes out looking for rush, and not a good kick on this occasion. And Vic Schooler comes through and takes the mark. He's at centre half forward for the Dogs. Running around in there, Heath Hopwood. Schooler plays on now out towards Tyson Hay. He kicked a couple of behinds already today, Hay. He could go for another shot at goal. He kicked it right to the top of the square. James Gowan's back, Shell back. Ball falls off those players' fingertips. McCabe for the Bloods working hard, and the ball in the end is seen out of bounds. And there'll be a throw in right forward pocket for Central, who's just starting to show their dominance now. So they always looking to be a superior team. West, the young side, undermanned. The Dogs really getting on top in this late stage of the game. Illman now for the Blood. Tries to get a clearing kick away. Luxor fortunately ended up with McCabe. Gets a quick kick out towards half-back where the mark should be taken. Coming through there, though, it was Crow thumped away from him. Ball comes back in the Crow Hopwood direction. Scores. He's taken to ground by Nordhausen. Holding the ball is the call, I think. And the free kick will go to young Bradley Nordhausen of the Bloods at left half-back.
So Nordhausen, as a change is made, and Steinford struggling, along with Richardson. Hassan can't come back on, but Big Burt comes on for his run. Miles the target. He had troubles in the second quarter as well. Beaten to the ball. Nice work. Jay Gowan gives to his offsider, but it was a poor turnover by Kane Officer. So now, courtesy of Luke Nathan's mark, West Adelaide will go forward. Slips as he kicks. Miles is the target, front and square. Poor Fleischer. He's been okay, but overrun that one. And Central District will make you pay. Off they go. Nicely done. Thomas. Beautiful leg. Cowan. But when he's not in the groove, it's not pretty to watch. And he's not in the groove. Cochrane, left foot kick around the body to Bello, who might decide to take on the big fella for West in Matty Illman, but doesn't. He'll go short instead. Nicely weighted kicks. Watala, front of the pack, took 2 bites. Well, I thought he did enough, but umpire said play on. Dre to Thomas, to Norman, and now to Nathan. Left foot kick, and he find a teammate. He cannot. Central District in half-forward flank mark, and will now mount an attack.
Paul Thomas for the Dogs. Reasonable contributors for them today. Spent some time on the bench in the third quarter. Has the footy now on the wing position, right on the line there, out side of the ground. Central leading by 30 points, 35-65, as Thomas kicks the footy up inside 50. Shell came out, couldn't take the mark. Ball spills down. James Gowans was there. Elijah Ware, though, goes back in the Cochrane direction. Chips up, looking for Swatala. Too hard for him. Hopwood comes through, gives a good handball to Bello. Back to Swatala. He goes from about 48, going to land in the goal square where Big Leonard Clark's up. Dumps it away. Ball bouncing down now at the feet of the players. It's Steinburner doing the crumbing. He's tackled well by Malinowski. Norman storming through. Norman. Nathan can't quite pick it up. Bello comes in. Dre grabs him. Again, the ball spills free. Again, players dive in on top of it. And again, the umpire will bounce it. 10 minutes gone, final term. The Bloods trailing the Dogs by 5 goals.
Yeah, well, they've added 2 goals and 2 in this final quarter. West Adelaide have added just the 1 goal. It's probably been their downfall, West Adelaide, as set play comes off beautifully. That's almost too easy for Central District. Nicely played, though, by the Doggies. Very good play. Goal number 10 to Central. Goal number 2 to Marco Bello. The Doggies 10-11. That's a total of 71. West Adelaide 6-5-35. Footy on 5 the end.
Indulge in the celebration of exciting Greek and Mediterranean cuisine right in the heart of historic Port Noarlunga at Manoli's Mezes Cafe. Just 50 metres from the jetty, Manoli's Mezes serves delicious Greek and Mediterranean style food with a touch of Moroccan, Portuguese and Spanish. There's traditional Italian pastas, gourmet pizzas and all-day breakfasts on the weekends. They even deliver for home, business or corporate functions. Manoli's Mezes Cafe, 32 Saltfleet Street, Port Noarlunga. Food's so good, it'll make you want to break your plate.
Around the grounds on 5DN footy, the Roosters 13-7-85 over the Port Magpies, 7-6-48 at Glenelg Oval. It's South 6-7-43. They're leading Glenelg 5-8-38. And it's the Eagles 8-4-52 over Sturt 4-6-30. And of course at Skills Stadium it was a 27-point win to Geelong over Brisbane. Back to Nap Oval thanks to Angus Securities.
Braun defensive 50 for the Bloods, just been marked there by their captain Luke Norman. About 30 from defensive goal. They're trailing on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard by 36 points. And here they go, the short stuff now. A bit of a waste of time. Finds Donaldson. He kicked out towards half-back. And getting up over the back of young Leonard Clark was Paul Schooler. Who's got better as the games progressed. He goes out towards about 60 from goal where Craig takes the mark, or probably more like about 70. Coming in to stand on the mark is young Sam Smith. Craig plays on now, kicking up there, looking for the contest. Prokopek, I think it is, in the front position. It's Cowan, in fact, taking the mark in front of Kent. It's a bit too big and strong, and he'll go back and have a chance to put through the Dogs 11. Luke Cowan, I haven't seen a great deal of him today. He can provide a bit of an option for them up forward.
On his day, he could be the best player in the competition.
He can. He's one of those sort of players who can be fantastic when he's on song. He's got a chance to kick a goal and really rub some salt into the wound to stretch the lead out to 42 points it will be, which is probably...
Just for the fun of it, he'll kick the ball out in the full. Right. just for the fun.
Bit of a laugh. Maybe Cowan goes towards goal. Oh, Poppy.
No, you can pick it. When he's not on song, he's not on song.
Can I borrow that crystal ball? That's fantastic stuff.
Well, it's not really. Craig goes to Nordhausen, and although he marks in defensive 50, he looks up and there's a whole lot of players in front of him. Jungo, Cowan. Top three should have taken. Bello picks up goal number 3, goal number 11 for Central. Here we go. The Doggies 11-11, 77 West Adelaide. 5-5-35. You're listening to Footy on 5pm.
G'day, this is Barry Ear. At Peter James Motors, they don't just have the best selection of four-wheel drives in South Australia, they also present a great selection of utes and trucks and cars. They've got hot ones for petrol heads, trade trucks for farmers, flash ones for Freddies, in fact something for everyone. And the boys have some whopping bargains for the end of financial year run-out. So go on up and screw them down at Peter James Motors. Peter James Motors, four-wheel drive. 1097 South Road, Melrose Park. Tell them Baz sent you.
Well, he's been moved into the Ruxford count. He won that here on that occasion. Going nowhere there was the central play. He's going to earn himself a free kick. Umpire Richard Williams just coming in to settle things down. Thomas and Big Norman is fighting on the bottom of the ground, and Thomas will take the free kick in the middle of Nap Oval. The Dogs 42 points in front, 11-11 to 5-5. Paul Thomas.
Oh, wait a sec. I didn't pick this up. I really didn't pick this up, and I'm hoping it's not Andrew Crowell, but I've got a horrible feeling it might be. No, it's not. It would be either Donaldson or Nathan, and I'm thinking that it might be Luke Nathan who's getting a stretcher behind play. I apologise. I didn't pick that up until just now when Paul Thomas actually pointed to the umpire that there was a player down behind play and the stretcher was on the ground. And I'm not sure what happened. And I don't want to worry anyone by saying that it's the player that it's not, but there's very few players with long sleeve jumpers on the ground.
Well, Nathan,
for West Adelaide.
Luke Nathan is standing up now over him, so it's not Luke Nathan, it's not Andrew Crowell.
It could be Dylan Kent.
It is, because I've just got the glasses on Donaldson right now, so I think it's young Dylan Kent. As the rain starts to team down here at Elizabeth Oval, the West Adelaide trainers carrying Kent off, and it's not a good sign for the youngster.
No, it's not. They've had their injury problems today. Steinfeld comes back on. He had problems with cramp. Dion Miles came off with a corky earlier. He's back on. Salam Hassan Curtis had a real big hit on Bradley Symes in that second quarter. Saw him come off and not come back onto the ground. And Dylan Kent, I'm not sure what the problem was, but he is still obviously being carried off the ground. Now, I'm thinking, for some reason, I thought it was an arm he was holding. And maybe a shoulder has been indicated to me. So let's hope he's all right. And nice to see the Central District people alongside with West Adelaide people giving them the applause, because although we all want to throw everything at each other in the field of battle, we don't wish injury upon anybody at any time. Well, there's probably a couple, but Dylan Kent isn't one of them. He's a youngster with a big future ahead of him.
Thomas goes for Central out towards half forward. James Gowans there couldn't gather it in. Coming in to lend some support was Craig, though it's Luke Nathan, as always, working hard, diving in over the ball for West Adelaide. There'll be a bounce, 70 out from the Dogs' goals. They lead by 42 points, 16 minutes gone in the final term, as Central, as I said, just exerting their dominance on this game. Here's a chance for Craig. Tackle as he kicked it, coming through, taking the mark. Not 10 was champion. Handballs out, and Lux of Fortune Thomas, toe post inside 50 for Central. Come through for Tala. Gets a handball out in the Ware direction, who in turn finds Steinberger with some pace. He kicked a good goal earlier, and he's kicked the behind on this occasion. And the Central fans are all up and shouting, but you're going to win, fellas, so don't get too excited.
Well, there was 34 players forward of centre when that ball was kicked, and now there's 32. So West Adelaide now are flooding back as they go short. Miles takes the mark. Steve Gowans applies just a spot of pressure to say, how are you? And Dean Miles, just forward of the full back line, will go short again over the top to Schmidt. Takes the ball. He's nice and neat, but he's made a couple of simple mistakes today, but that's all part of the learning curve. It's only his 5th game. And Rennie, to his credit, has kept him out there as part of the learning curve. Goes towards the outer side. Wade Champion's been okay at times. Spluttered in and out of the game and took a good mark. Just around about right half-back flank. John Nankerville.
Yeah, Champion is right half-back, goes up towards right half-forward. Up high on that occasion, not doing much, was Crow, and Central have a chance to come away with it now. Krieg has the footy. He kicks up towards the half-forward line for the Dogs. Bouncing football, about 55 from goal.
Elijah Ware.
He's got Elijah Ware running in. Can he get that onto that right boot? He does. Norman's coming back to take on Ware. Bigger body, but Ware delivers him well. Just following the flight of the ball and takes the mark. That's 25 out on a slight angle. And with 18 minutes gone in this first term, or final term, should I say, has a chance to put the Dogs in front by 49 points.
You could always see that he was going to be the option, and in flight, given tricky condition, Elijah Ware is just a little bit more nimble. Let's see if he can't finish off.
He goes with the right foot towards the goals. I think he's put through for one behind. He has. So 44 points the margin here at Nap Oval. Central 11-13-79, the Dogs 5-5-35.
So the margin is too great, given the time frame West Adelaide have got to work with, over 5 goals, and we're deep into the final quarter. Although West Adelaide were kicking with the aid of a strong breeze, you know, they're a few men short, and West Adelaide and Central are far too good, far too solid, and there's no real surprises in that. We've been saying that now for a number of years. The people involved with Central should be pretty proud of this almost dynasty that they've set up. Not too many times you come here and see your side get beaten. Miles brings the ball back in. Elijah Ware tucks it, runs, finds Shell. Nicely done. Inside 50. And normally Shell inside 50, you'd say, will kick this for sure and certain. And I don't mean the goal, I mean the distance. He'll kick the distance still, but it won't be anything out of the ordinary, I wouldn't have thought. Kicks from 45. Oh, no, he gets under it beautifully. Gets under it beautifully. Kicks the back fencing. Made me look like a dope. Central District 12-13-85. West Adelaide 5-5-35. 40 on 5 to end.
Roberta Waterman from Waterman Furniture.
Right now we're having a gigantic bedding and bedroom sale. All bedding and bedroom furniture is reduced. Bulk bedding buys mean massive savings that we can pass on to you. Bedroom styles range from exotic and Federation to modern, available in many colours and timber finishes. And remember, if it's on the floor, it can be delivered by Friday.
Waterman's Furniture, creating beautiful homes for 50 years. 647 Port Road, Woodville Park.
5-10 footy round the grounds at Adelaide Oval. Port Magpies having a bit of a go. 9-7-61. Trailing North 13-7-85. There's one goal in it at Glenelg Oval between Glenelg and South. in favour of South Adelaide. And at Unley Oval, Eagles just stretching a little bit, 8-4-52 over Sturt 4-6-30. Back to Nap Oval.
Where the umpire has the footy about 70 out from Central's goals after they got the centre break. He throws it up. Clark in the ruck. Bello roving it. High up and under kick inside 50. Dre there one-on-one. Ball's going to bounce in front of them. McCabe got a fist to it for the Bloods. Picked up there by Crowder. Nathan, of course, who goes over the top and finds Smith, who from right half back kicks the ball into the middle of the ground where Paul Pleasure goes up. Should be paid the mark and is Jason Paul Pleasure. Bit slow to get up there. Perhaps he's cramping up a little bit.
Yeah, which is surprising. Angela made the point at half-time that given the time frame, that is West Adelaide coming off an 8-day break and Central 5, it could be Central that are confronting the problems that West Adelaide in fact are.
Thomas chipped it off with a good mark, goes out wide and finds Hay on that outer wing, kicks the football up towards half forward to the Central player. He's got two West players to beat. Norman, Luke Norman comes inside as always, takes the mark, and he'll steady things down for West Adelaide, their captain. Out there at right half back. He goes with his kick now up towards the wing position. It's not a great one over the players' heads. Crowd to go up high. Rusker comes in, roves well. Gives the handball out in the teammates' direction. And here they go now through Illman, who from right half forward kicks up towards the forward 50 yards. Out the back, running hard indeed is Nordhausen. Bouncing ball might go through. Was it touched right on the line? Played on the goal. I think that's a goal.
Oh my goodness.
It just bounced and bounced and bounced and through for a goal. 6 goals, 5 West Adelaide go to. Central there on 12-13. You're listening to 5VN Footy.
Summer's not the only time your garden needs looking after. So here's 4 words that could help your garden in winter. Genuine, spent, mushroom, compost. 4 words that can help condition your soil, keep your soil warmer, and help your plants to grow better in winter. Genuine, spent, mushroom, compost. Look for those 4 words at your nearest garden centre, or call Adelaide Mushrooms to find out who sells it near you. 838 115 99. So remember the 4 words. Genuine, spent, mushroom, compost. Spread it now.
So Matty Illman kicks his first SANFL goal in his first game of SANFL football at this level. Something to talk about after 5 o'clock. 8305 1323 is the number if you'd like to be part of the show. Basically, you are the show. But after 5 and before 6, we turn the station over to you. 8305 1323 if you'd like to talk about this game, your side, umpires, ground, AFL footy, whatever you like. As Central District go forward again, Thomas out the back. Well, he didn't have a left foot, and that probably was the difference between goaling and not. And it could have been Krieg, actually. I just didn't quite pick up the number. I think it was Krieg. So another behind. Central's 12-14. That's a total of 86. West Adelaide 6-5-41.
Donaldson will bring the footy back into play for West Adelaide. Goes short into the right back pocket where he finds Luke Norman, who takes the footy, wastes no time out towards defensive 50. Diving there, Dion Miles takes a good grab. And just slowing things down now, West Adelaide. The game well and truly out of their keeping. It's Central 12-14. West Adelaide 6-5 on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard. And big Dion Miles goes with that right foot kick out towards the outer wing position. Crowder has it thumped away from him by Hay, and the ball will go out of bounds, and there'll be a throw-in at the 23 3/4 minute mark in this final term.
So the margin is 45 points, the biggest of all the match. At quarter time, it was 15 points. At half time, it was 21 points. At 3/4 time, it was 22 points, and now Central District have opened them up. Schmidt fights hard for the ball. Nicely done. It's Nathan, the 1-2, and Melanowski on the end of it goes short to Paul Pleasure. Marks right half forward flank, but wide, and then feeds off. Or does he? No, thought about Rusker, and now will go in the direction of Rusker, and does. Finds him nicely. Tyson Hay on the mark. Nice little matchup, that one. Both players possess a fair bit of pace. Rusker has the ball at the moment. Tyson Hay, one of the leading contenders, if not the best man on the ground for the Guja Fish Calf man of the match as the ball goes forward. And I reckon that could be Illman again, or is it? No, it's not.
It is Illman.
It is Illman. Well, he could be lining up to kick his second SANFL goal in his first SANFL game, the former 36er.
He's done well, hasn't he, Matthew? It's in his late stages. Got that long bouncing goal before.
Not much of a run-up.
Yeah, he doesn't go too far with that kick at the goal. What's he done with it? The umpire's gone back to the middle. It's successful. Didn't look great off the boot, but he's got his second. So West Adelaide 7-5-41, Central 12-14-86, 25 gone final term. You're listening to 5VN Footy.
Yeah, nicely played by West Adelaide. It's all too little and obviously way too late. 25 minutes gone in this final quarter as the ball's brought back to the centre of Nap Oval. So Central District will win today. The game between Eagles and Sturt is an important one, and that game's still in the balance, given that Eagles could give up top spot today. And West Adelaide are under a bit of pressure because Sturt and North Adelaide, either side of them, are on the same amount of wins. So this could be costly for West Adelaide today, even if it be short term. Bello with the ball for the Doggies, goes towards the half-back line. Nice mark for Luke Norman. He won't be a contender for the Flare Curtains and Blinds mark of the day because Shannon Rusker, to my way of thinking, had that wrapped up, although Luke Nathan in the second quarter took a beautifully timed slips-like mark, as we see McCabe from the half-forward line kick to inside 50 again.
Coming out Illman, he couldn't gather it in, comes off his boots, tap back towards the inside 50 for West Adelaide. In there working hard, Crow. He's wrapped up by Hopwood. Umpire comes in, says, I'll bounce it. About 45 out from West Adelaide to go. Underneath the scoreboard there, which shows Central's in front by a pretty big margin at the end of the day of 39 points. The umpire throws the footy in the air, comes down to Crow, quick kick out of that pack, up back towards the top of the goal square, off the hide comes streaming out, couldn't handle it, ball spills to ground, Hopwood was good, gave to Thomas, who from the full-back goal square comes out and finds Sivanella. He marks the footy, goes for a bit of a run, kicks up here towards half-back, where Prokopek, well up from full forward, comes out and takes the mark. The big fella plays on, gives to Elijah Ware, and Central mounting something here, kicking up towards the forward 50 arc, pushed away there from Shell, working hard to two number 9s, Bello and Donaldson. Central fans scream for in the back. Richard Williams comes in and says, not going to happen. There'll be a bounce. Bat centre-half forward for the Dogs.
Probably a good call, though. I mean, he was in front, Cochrane, but took the dive, and Donaldson tried to stay off these backers at the same time. Nordhausen with the ball under pressure. Handballs for touch. He won't find it. It's all the Doggies, and the player with the ball is Krieg. Gives ground, keeps possession. Cochrane with the ball again. Stops and props, and for the second time in as many minutes, Donaldson doesn't fall for the play. Out the back, Benjamin Dre went the punch, fell onto the back of his opponent, then claimed the mark. Schmidt now with the ball, half back line, long kick, may find itself out the back, does, and off they go through Champion. The kick towards Portlesia, the umpires didn't want to bother. Portlesia will be beaten to it by Off-to-Hyde, and both of them will be beaten by the boundary line. Right on the intersection of Fort 50 and boundary, Portlesia looks back at the umpire and says, mate, it's hard enough out here with his doggy side. I don't need you blocking me also. Central's 12-14. West Adelaide 7-5, 27 minutes gone, final quarter. That score, of course, on the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard.
Illman versus Schooler in the ruck. Schooler in front position. Ball goes away from both those players. Illman got a hand on it, but coming through was Sibanala for the Dogs. He kicks them out of danger. It's not a great kick, and it's going to land in the arms of Leonard Clark, or just in front of him. He couldn't quite pick it up, the big man. He goes in again. Schmidt lends some support, but under pressure, handballs back in the James Gowan's direction.
That's the one.
And there'll be a bounce about between right half forward and centre wing there for West Adelaide, who trail by 39 points. We've played 28 and a half in this final term. As the final siren sounds, Doggies fans stand and applaud, and so they should. They've done well. They've won. They've consolidated second spot. And just looking at the Scott Salisbury home scoreboard for a final score, it's Central 12-14-86, defeating West Adelaide 7-5-47 by a margin of 39 points. We're back shortly with our summary and all the goal scorers here on 5DN Footy.
5DN's SANFL Match of the Round, brought to you